And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to sunny Bethany, Oklahoma. Southern Nazarene football is on the air. This afternoon, the Crimson Storm take on the Savage Storm of Southeastern Oklahoma State, looking to snap a two-game losing streak. Hi, everyone. Luke McConnell and Landry Franks with you on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon for football. Delighted to have you with us here on the SNU Athletics YouTube channel. SNU coming into today, again, a two-game losing streak, having lost here 2 weeks ago in a tight game against Southern Arkansas before falling on the road last week at Henderson State. They're taking on Southeastern Oklahoma State, who comes into today's game 2-4 this season and off a thrilling 22-21 last-second win over Arkansas Monticello last week down in Durant. We're halfway through the season, Landry. SNU right at 500, 3-3. You know, coming into the season, you might say a little disappointing, but, you know, they've beaten the teams they should have beat. They've been right there with Southern Arkansas. And, you know, if you look at history tells us that, you know, you're probably going to lose to Harding and Henderson State, but still competitive games in both of those. Right where expectations probably would be.
Yeah. I think expectations are 3-3 is pretty solid. I think looking back to home game a couple weeks ago, certainly a winnable game and a game that I think kind of slipped out of your fingers and had chances to win, but SNU is demonstrating that they are no longer the bottom of the pack in this conference. This is a good conference, but SNU is saying not only are they middle of the pack, but you know, today I think would be a really good test of them kind of being in that top tier, the top quarter of this conference in skill, recruiting, all the way around. And you know, it's a credit to this coaching staff over the last few years who have preached culture and done a great job of that with this team.
You mentioned the standings. Let's take a look at the GAC standings coming into today. Two huge matchups across the conference to start the day with Harding and Ouachita Baptist both at 6-0. Henderson State, Southern Arkansas follow at 5-1. Then there's SNU and Oklahoma Baptist right there in the middle at 3-3. But Landry, this is where SNU has an opportunity to prove that they have progressed as a program. You have 4 of the last 5 games against this kind of squishy middle, if you will, Southeastern, East Central. You have the game of Ouachita here in 2 weeks, Arkansas Monticello and Oklahoma Baptist remaining on the schedule. All of those teams right there between 3-3 and 2-4. Opportunities abound to prove that, hey, we're no longer the bottom of this pack. We are leading this group that's kind of behind those top 3 or 4 teams, and it's a real opportunity for SNU.
It really is, and they're gonna have to show what they're made of. You know, I think one thing we learned talking to Coach Hayda this week is that you know, it's easy for teams when they're kind of out of the playoff race or out of the bowl game race to kind of shut it down for the season. What are we playing for? But this Crimson Storm team has a lot to play for. This is something, a season like this is something that they've been building to for several years, really since they've been in Division II football. And that this is a big step forward for this program, and they're going to have to prove it. It's not going to be easy. I think they're going to play some pretty decent teams, and they'll have the opportunity in their hand to prove their cream of the crop. Where last year it seemed like they were about 3 games behind of where they wanted to be. The season started off slow, but this season they certainly put themselves in a position to be one of the top tier teams.
We count down to tip kickoff here in Bethany, just under 10 minutes away from that. We'll step aside for a short break, come back with SNU head coach Dustin Hayda, and then on the other side of that, we'll get into our keys of the game, players to watch. We'll run through the GAC schedule and the opening kickoff here in Bethany. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome into our pregame conversation with SNU head coach Dustin Hayda. The Crimson Storm back at home this afternoon, taking on Southeastern Oklahoma State. And Dustin, tough last 2 games, 2 losses, but what are some positives that you guys have drawn from those 2 games?
Well, we're a fighting, resilient bunch, and they've done that the last couple games. Slow start last week. Spotting a ranked team 21 points is always difficult, but those guys fought back, took it within 7, and so I'm proud of their resilience and their fight so far, and that's what's going to get us ahead as we progress through the season.
Halfway through, 3-3. What are you guys at relative to your expectations coming into the season?
You know, we don't spend a lot of time speculating on wins and losses, and we don't spend a lot of time thinking ahead, and we don't spend a lot of time thinking behind. So and that's a good place to be right now. We're worried about this week, and we're worried about Southeastern, and we're worried about us. So expectation-wise, I mean, these guys want to succeed, and they want to play great, and they want to tackle and block and have a blast doing it. So that's really our expectation each week. And those never change. And that's the kind of team that we are, and so we're ready to go this week.
Southeastern comes in with a new head coach, Bo Atterbury, but a familiar face. He was coach for 5 years before down at Southeastern. What did the Savage Storm bring to the table, and how do you counter what they bring?
You know, offensively, they've got some really good weapons on the outside at receiver, and so that's always priority number one defensively. Offensively, for us and their defense, their front seven is very good. They're active, they're big, they run well. And so we're going to have to block. We're going to have to block them, and then we're going to have to tackle, particularly on our perimeter defensively. We're going to have to tackle and not let a 7-yard completion turn into a big play. And so they're a big team. They're big up front on both sides, and so that's always a formidable deal just in the trenches with our guys.
As you're prepping for a team that you see every year that has a new coaching staff, entirely different approach to things, how do you go about that? What's that process like week to week when you have to change things like that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of speculation to it on how they're going to play us. We've only had a couple teams this year where we could even look at last year's games, and so we rely a lot on the film that we're seeing from this season, and then put a little bit of speculation in on what they're going to do schematically against our defense and against our style of offense. And so there's a little bit of there's an adjustment process usually as the games start in the first quarters of those games, just to feel what their plan's going to be and how that changes from what you've seen on film all week. And my coaches have done an outstanding job on both sides of adjusting quickly, and the players have done a great job of making those adjustments and rolling. So that helps when you have such an experienced group on both sides, and you've got coaches that have been in the scheme for multiple seasons. And so we just we do a little bit of speculation, but schematically we kind of do what we do and adjust on the run.
Final home stretch of this season coming up. Hard to believe we're already here. How can you guys take advantage of what is still ahead of you and make the most of this season?
Biggest thing, we got to stay healthy. And so we've been doing that throughout the week. You know, we back off of contact big time here midway through the season and on, and we want to be the healthier team. We want to be the fresher team on Saturday. And so that's probably the biggest key to the whole thing, is just staying healthy, and beyond that, just staying focused on 1 week at a time, and how hard can we play and how much fun can we have playing, and when we get into bad situations, what kind of fight do we have left in us, and just not be broken at any point during any game the rest of the season.
Well, Dustin, thank you so much for your time. As always, best of luck today against the Savage Storm.
Thank you, Luke.
Welcome back to Bethany, counting down to kickoff between the Storms, Crimson, and Savage today. Captains meeting out at midfield for the coin toss. Landry, let's run through the keys to the game.
Yeah, I think offensively, you got to get the ground game going quickly, in particular with Gage Porter, but I think setting the edge with those speedy wide receivers will open up the middle of the field. So I'm looking for both slot receivers and Gage Porter to have a big game offensively. Defensively, that interior line needs to get pressure on the quarterback, make them make quick decisions they don't want to make, and hopefully create some turnovers. Luke, what about you?
Run game will be important in this one. 5 combined wins between these two teams, all of them. The winner has controlled the ground game with winning the rushing battle in all 5 of those games, 3 for SNU, 2 for Southeastern. And like you said, the interior of that defensive line for SNU has to be big today. Can take advantage of a young quarterback, Weston Conway making his 2nd career start, the sophomore out of Plano, Texas. Savage Storm have given up 18 sacks this year. SNU has 7 themselves on defense as the Crimson Storm take the field. So an opportunity abounds to take advantage of the middling Southeastern offensive line and see if they can make some plays defensively. SNU will receive to start the game. Let's run through the Great American Conference schedule. All 2 o'clock kickoffs except for the big one in Searcy. Ouachita Baptist, the number 5 team in the nation, traveling to take on Harding, number 9 in the nation. That will be terrific. The other big one, Southern Arkansas at 5-1 at Henderson State, also 5-1. That'll be going on right now with our game. East Central is up in Alva taking on Northwestern. Arkansas Monticello is at Arkansas Tech. And Oklahoma Baptist out in Weatherford taking on Southwestern Oklahoma State. Gorgeous day here, 60 degrees, 15 miles an hour, wind out of the north this time, so we get a break from the south wind. But it is absolutely spectacular football weather, Landry. A couple key injury notes to note for the Crimson Storm. Jarrell Farr is out today for SNU, missing his 2nd straight game. Angel Ramirez was out in street clothes during warm-ups, came out in full pads and warmed up a little bit. He is in pads on the sideline right now, so he might give it a go at running back, but we will have to see on that. But he is dressed out, ready to go, but we'll see if he's able to be effective today. If nothing else, being effective as a blocker would be helpful for the Crimson Storm.
Luke, I think you and Coach Hayda had a good conversation about the Ouachita Harding. You're convinced that there'll be more than 14 points scored. He's convinced there'll be less than 14. So we'll have to check up on that during the game. But
yeah, I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah,
it'll be a good
that's
one.
right.
Looking forward to catching some of that later this evening.
I think we can guarantee that this game here in Bethany today will definitely have more than 14 points scored.
Absolutely. Southeastern in all white today. They got away from those two-tone helmets this year, going back to the white helmets with the Southeastern logo, a significant upgrade in my humble fashion opinion. White jerseys, blue numbers, gold lettering, and white pants with blue and gold down the side. SNU in the all grays today, white helmets with the crimson lightning bolt along the side. Donald May will be back deep to receive along with Braxton Bird. They're both standing halfway into the end zone with the north wind. Clock is set. And we are ready to go. Jackson Nally, the punter, 6'2 junior out of Wiley, Texas, will be ready to send this one away for the Savage Storm. Their head coach, Bo Atterbury, his 2nd stint in Southeastern, the Savage Storm alum, coach for Southeastern back 2014 through 2018. The run up and the boot. We're underway. High end over end kick. We're going to run through the end zone, and SNU will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. SNU has won 2 of the last 3 meetings between these two squads.
Yeah, and some great games the last few years. Certainly always competitive against another interstate rival. Should see good showing from both teams today.
SNU comes out in the diamond formation. 1 wide receiver left, 1 right. Gage Porter right in the middle of it. Ball on the left hash on 1st down. Porter takes a snap, gives it to Carlos Cepeda running right. He's tracked down from behind by Kevin Sims. No gain on 1st down.
Yeah, and they like this diamond package, Luke, because they think they can get the right numbers with this 4-3 defensive structure that Southeastern offers. And I expect to see quite a bit of it today.
Southeastern defensive line, the strength of this unit, an experienced group, and some young guys in there making a lot of plays that we'll talk about as well. Porter motions Fellows to the near side. Fellows gets the handoff and is met at the line of scrimmage by Caleb High, the linebacker. He falls across the 25 to the 26 for a gain of 1. And that brings up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, and it looked like there was a seam there. Cepeda is the lead blocker, and he goes from outside linebacker onto the safety. And it looked like he shed that first block maybe just a second too early. His first block is the one who makes the tackle.
So 3rd down and 9, a minute gone by in the 1st quarter. Ball on the left hash. 2 wide receivers left. Asa Robertson out wide to the right. Fellows in motion to the top of the formation. Porter takes a snap. Quarterback draw, cuts it upfield. He's got space. 30, 35, 40. Can he go? 50, 45, 40. To the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. End zone, touchdown. Gage Porter goes 74 yards on 3rd and 9. And just like that, SNU on the board early.
That's right. Coach Haight is pumped up about that. You know, when you call a quarterback draw, and it is against the power of the offense. So they motion to the right. They have a tight end on the right, and they have 2 receivers to the right. So they are overloading the right side, and then they draw back to the left side. You run a draw on 3rd and 9. Hopefully you get some chunk yardage. Maybe you break one free, but I don't think you're thinking, I'm going to go untouched for 79 yards on 3rd and 9 quarterback draw play. But SNU will take it as a field goal is good.
Van Pruyen puts it through. 13:27 to go in the first quarter. SNU up 7-0. We'll take time and be back after this break.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
And welcome back to Bethany. Southern Nazarene already on the board, 7-0 over Southeastern Oklahoma State, courtesy of a 74-yard Gage Porter touchdown run on 3rd and 9. Tremendous start for SNU, but now the defense gets to step up and make some plays. And Landry, we talked about the run game early. It'll be important for SNU to limit the run game. In their 3 losses this year, SNU's given up at least 260 yards per game. And significant difference between that and what they've been able to do in their wins this season. So big opportunity against a Southeastern team that doesn't run the ball very well, just 102 yards per game on the ground. Cameron Van Pruyen on to send this one away to Andre Williams, standing back at his own 10. High end over end kick gets hung up in the wind. It is fielded by Giassi Smith at the 25. He falls forward to the 29-yard line, and that's where the Savage Storm will put it in play, 1st and 10.
Yeah, this is the 3rd consecutive home game we've had strong wind, and that has been the norm. It's not quite a high onside, but it's a high directed kick towards the 25-yard line to put a player who's not used to receiving a kickoff, put the ball in their hands, but also let the kickoff team rally around him.
2 wide left, 1 to the right for Southeastern quarterback Weston Conway. Turns and gives to Ryan Hurt right up the middle. He goes, gain of 2 to the 31-yard line. Taken down by Kenyatta Richardson. Jalen Mays in there as well. The Southeastern offense, the focal point, wide receiver Marquise Gray. All-American last year, set single-season records in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 79 catches, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. He's missed 2 games this year, but he is electric. Seth Spruill, the freshman, with the assignment early. 2nd and 8. Conway gives to DJ Brown in the hole. He's chopped down hard. Jalen Mays coming up from his safety spot, making the tackle at the 33-yard line. Makes it 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and with Southeastern, a team who struggled to run the football, every team wants to run the football. There's not a team that doesn't. Maybe Mike Leach's Texas Tech teams, but even they were good at running the football. So you're going to come in with a game plan to run the football. It's really how consistent can you be in the run game? Can you get first downs? If not, they're going to pass.
5 wide receiver set, 3 left, 2 right for Conway from the right hash. Conway takes the snap, back to pass. 3-man rush, Conway looking down the field and overshot his man, Giassi Smith, incomplete.
Yeah, and that one sailed maybe 3 or 4 feet over his intended receiver, and that's good news for the Crimson Storm because Josh Johnson slipped on his break to make a play on that ball. but fortunate, and the Crimson Storm defense gets the ball back in Gage Porter in this offense's hand.
Jackson Nally to punt, averaging 41 yards per kick this season on 23 punts. He's got it and sends a wobbly end-over-end kick. Joa Flores back there fields it at the 8, cuts up field and is slung down out of bounds just outside the 10-yard line there for the Savage Storm by number 43, Bryant Watts, sophomore out of Kingston.
Kingston, great little football town. I don't know if you've followed Kingston football much, Luke.
Not too much over the years.
You know, having a brother who coaches small town football. Been to Kingston before. Great stadium. Great atmosphere there.
You'll find a lot of Kingston players scattered across the Southeastern
Good squad.
Rosters, and
Good
whether
squad.
football, basketball. Lot of Texas flavor, though, on this Southeastern two deep at least. Vast majority of the Southeastern two deep. And Landry, 12 minutes to go in the first quarter. SNU getting the ball back. Hit the big play, 74 yards, and you know that's something that Coach Haight has mentioned a lot. He wants to run clock, but they just keep hitting big plays sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's half a dozen and 6 in the other, right? So you want to take time off the clock, but scoring touchdowns is pretty good too. So I think Coach Haight is pleased with both, and I'm sure their defensive coordinator would prefer the
9-minute drive.
Yes, the long drives. But touchdown's a touchdown. You take it.
1st and 10, Crimson Storm at the 10-yard line. Ball is on the left hash. 2 wide receivers to the left. That's Hill and Robertson. Fellows and Zapata flank Porter in the pistol set. Porter takes a snap, puts it in the belly of Aaron Fellows, trying to get outside, but taken down by Cameron Tate from behind. And Tate, the middle linebacker for Southeastern, Coach Haight had a lot of praise for him.
Oh, man, he's a great player. He's playing middle linebacker on that play. That is an outside zone. He screams from the middle position of the field to the outside to make a tackle for a loss. I mean, that says all you need to know about a linebacker right there. He just has a nose for the football, and he's a good player, and Coach Haight certainly admired his game and his work ethic.
2nd and 10 for the Crimson Storm. Ball remains on the left hash. 3 wide to the right now for Porter. Motion Smith to the top of the formation. Porter, quarterback draw up the middle, is met in the hole by Tate, pushes the pile forward all the way up to the 14-yard line, making it a 3rd down and a more manageable 6 situation for the Storm.
Yeah, and certainly it's a passing down. You know, normally if we're in the middle of the field or closer to the opposition end zone, we are going to be. Coach Haight likes to be more risky, right? You think in 2-down territory might be a run than another play, but I think here we're going to see Gage Porter on the run, trying to hit one of his targets just around the sticks.
2 wide to either side. Donald May in the slot left for Gage Porter as the Storm move right to left in the first quarter. Porter has the snap, throws it out to Asa Robertson. He's got it right at the 20-yard line. We'll see where they mark him. And they are going to give him the 1st down right at the 20-yard line. And Landry, textbook from you, calling it right at the sticks there for Robertson.
Yeah, that's a play every offense has in their system, and it's usually called sticks. You know, what route do you run? Well, you run a route to the sticks, and you get open. I was wrong I thought Porter might be on the run on that one, but just a quick one-step throw the hitch for the 1st down.
2 wide right for SNU. Porter takes the snap, gives it to Zapata up the middle. Hit hard there by Cameron Pumphrey, but he falls forward all the way up to the 25-yard line. Southeastern came out with a football. Officials blew the play dead.
Yeah, and Southeastern coach keeping that flag in the pocket, I think pretty obvious one there. Players always think they got the ball, though.
Absolutely. What they tell you as an official. If you're going to make the call, make it confidently, even if it's blatantly wrong. Movement along the front. I think they're going to get David Morales, the right tackle, leaning forward a little bit. So that'll make it 2nd and 10 now with 9:17 and counting in the first quarter. SNU leading 7-0 over Southeastern Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and a few weeks ago against Southern Arkansas, a few penalties similar to this that just seem to stall drives a little bit. Hopefully these get cleaned up here early in the game.
Porter, snap a little wide, corrals it, follows the pulling guard, trying to get outside, just wrestled down to the ground. I think Caleb High got in there along with Caleb Jackson for Southeastern. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 21-yard line.
Yeah, big 3rd down here already in this game. Be a big momentum swing for Southeastern to get the Crimson Storm off the field. Overloading one side.
Fellows and Dalen Smith stacked to the right. Porter rolls that way. Looking upfield. Now looking on the backside, fires it across the field into the middle. He's got Asa Robertson on the catch. Officials say it's a catch. Southeastern, a few coaches disagreeing, but not going to see a challenge flag, it looks like. But SNU converts with a 12-yard pickup on 3rd down to move the sticks once again up to the their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, and that was the 3rd down on the run play I was talking about, where Gage has lots of options going towards the sideline, safe throws, and Gage Porter comes back against the grain and throws to Asa, who's running from the backside of the formation. Interesting stack wide receiver lineup on that last play, Luke.
7:28 to go, first quarter. SNU leading 7-0. Colby Branch makes it 3 wide receivers on the left. The give is to Donald May running left, trying to get outside. Sheds one tackler, tries to get upfield, and is finally chopped down at the 38-yard line. P.J. Larry in on the tackle, transfer from Eastern New Mexico.
Luke, all of a sudden we have a long drive for this SNU offense. I mean, controlling the ball, converting 3rd and longs, that's how you wear a defense out.
Has been a big clock chewer so far, converting 2 3rd downs so far on the possession. Porter, back to pass. Pass is behind Donald May, but it was forward, and it is incomplete, not a fumble. Had numbers out there in front of May, but the pass just a little behind May, and he was unable to bring that one in.
Yeah, and even if he would, I don't know how much time he would have had to put his foot in the ground and flip and turn around.
So now another 3rd down and 5 for the Crimson Storm. Ball on the left hash, 2 wide receivers right. Fellows in motion. Porter gives it to him, trying to get outside. Fellows trying to, and he's taken down in the backfield. Larry coming up from his safety spot, making the tackle back at the 33-yard line, a loss of 5, and that brings on Adam Atwell and the punt team.
Yeah, and safety just coming down and making a big play on that one. Read it all the way, comes straight down, untouched, makes a tackle in the backfield.
Adam Atwell to punt for SNU. 4th in the conference this year, 43.5 yards per punt. And he's been great the past couple weeks punting into the wind. Let's see what he does here. Andre Williams standing at his own 25. A little bit of a high snap. Atwell gets it. A low liner that's knocked down by the wind. Bounces inside the Southeastern 40-yard line where it dies at the 38. So that's where the Savage Storm will put it in play. So no points on that drive for SNU, but it did take up nearly 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah. Yeah, I think on that punt, Atwell, concerned about getting that high snap, trying to get that ball off, but no pressure coming at him. So something to learn from there. But I tell you, Luke, there's nothing scarier than catching a high snap as a punter. Lots of probabilities that are usually not good for you if that happens.
Southeastern 1st and 10, 6:06 to go first quarter. 3 wide receivers to the right. Conaway takes the snap, gives it to DJ Brown, and he slips down at the line of scrimmage. Josh Johnson was coming in hard.
Yeah, even if he slips down, I mean, it might be lucky for him that he slipped down because Josh Johnson was seeing that play the whole way and was going to clean him up at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. With a sophomore from Plano. Weston Conway made his first start last week against Arkansas Monticello. 291 yards passing, 3 touchdowns to Marquise Gray. Conway takes it back to pass. Looking over the slant, it's off the hands of Deuce Pittman. Great throw from Conway, but the 6'4" senior unable to bring that one in.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better of a throw than that one. I mean, Deuce Pittman might still be running if that passes, or if he catches it. I mean, good hard throw out of the reach of the defender.
3rd and 10, another 3rd and long for the Savage Storm. Another 5 wide receiver set, 3 right, 2 left. Conway back to pass, 3-man rush for SNU. Conway rolls to his left, fires and hits Gray at the SNU 46-yard line. Gray, just 5'9", went up and made a terrific catch as he got walloped by Carter Brock, but it's a first down for the Savage Storm.
Yeah, you don't become the best wide receiver on Southeastern by accident. You make plays like that, and certainly he absorbs the contact, and it was a lot of contact, and Savage Storm still moving the football.
1st and 10 at the SNU 46. Conway takes it, gives it to Brown. Right up the middle he goes, and he breaks free. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Southeastern. Right up the middle went DJ Brown, and there was nobody in the middle for the SNU defense there.
Yeah, I mean, just wide open. I don't think he got touched, Luke. And both safeties were split out. Yeah, probably running cover 2, but it's unfortunate.
46-yard touchdown run for the transfer from Lehigh. Extra point up and through from Dylan Cox, freshman from Alvarado. So with 4:49 to go in the first quarter, our new score, Southern Nazarene 7, Southeastern 7. Landry, we talked with Coach Hayden, mentioned last week Henderson State ran for 302 yards a week ago, and he mentioned some of those run fits not being as crisp as they should have been. And that allowed some of those big chunk plays for the Reddies last week, and I think we just saw another example of that right there.
Yeah, it just seemed, I don't know, Luke, it's just on a play like that where it's so open up the middle. I didn't see a blitz on the outside, something that would kind of trigger an opening there. Guys in the wrong position. That's the only thing I can think. And then the safeties look like they were still in coverage a little bit. So I don't know if Southeastern ran routes with their safeties to try to, or with their wide receivers to try to fool the Crimson Storm, but it's an odd play from a defense who certainly most of the time has good fits, but you got to clean those things up to slow down this Southeastern offense.
Nally, the run up and the boot for Southeastern. High and over in kick. This one's going to be returnable. May has it at the 2. Angling to his left. Trying to get outside. He does. He's got a blocker ahead of him. And he'll carry it across the 25-yard line up to the 26-yard line, where SNU will put it in play, 1st and 10.
Yeah, May, good return there. Follows his blockers, something he's gotten better at. Seems like each game that he's played this season, following his blockers on kickoff return. And interesting, Luke, they don't just launch that thing through the back of the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like he might have just gotten under that one just a smidge. So the third possession here for the SNU offense. Gage Porter coming out there. We have not seen Angel Ramirez yet. He is dressed, but I think that was just trying to test things out. Porter takes the snap, gives it to, no, he keeps it, trying to get outside, and he's taken down for a loss of 1 back to the 25-yard line. That was Braden Winters, the linebacker, sophomore out of Bartlesville, coming down and making the play from his linebacker position.
Yeah, and Gage Porter had the cutback lane and was trying to put his foot in the ground, but Winters was there to make the play as he's trying to turn it upfield.
Second down and 11, 4:13 and counting in the first quarter. Porter bobbles the snap, bobbled the handoff, looking for Fellows. It's picked up by Caleb High for Southeastern, and he carries it down inside the 5.
Yeah, and Porter's frustrated, obviously. I mean, snap was good, just slipped through his hands, hit him in the face mask, and just, I think, out of urgency, tries to hand that ball off, and when he should have just tucked it and run. I mean, some plays you just gotta eat it and hold on to the ball. I mean, it's uncharacteristic of him. He's certainly frustrated. I doubt we'll see anything like that again. But putting this defense in a bind, and we're going to see what they're made of here early in this football game.
4 minutes to go in the first quarter. First and goal at the 5 for Southeastern. It's the 16th turnover of the season for SNU. 3 wide receivers to the left, Brown to the left of Conway. Conway gives to Brown, trying to pick his way in. He's going nowhere. Jake Wright off the end, grabbed the ankle. It was Jalen Mays who finished him off up high. No gain on first down. Second and goal upcoming.
Yeah, and that's run all the way. Southeastern's not disguising it. SNU can read it, and Jake Wright comes down. You know what? As an outside linebacker, I always like that position because you can see what's happening quickly because you have one key. And when you see that down block, you just come right inside, and he does it well.
Same formation here for Southeastern. The give is to Brown, trying to cut back inside. He gets down to the 2. Third and goal upcoming.
Looked like maybe a little close to offside. I don't know who jumped, but I thought I saw some movement on the right side of the field. He faked the screen there and just hand the ball off. They're trying to establish the run, Southeastern, who's struggled all season with it. Watch number 5, quick slant here.
Same formation here. 3 wide left, except the tight end's on the right side now. Conway takes it. Gives to Brown again, trying to barrel his way up the middle. He didn't get it. He did not get in. Denied at the 1 by the SNU defense. Carter Brock last off the pile. 4th and goal from the 1.
So they've faked the bubble in this trips. They've been in trips every play, and they faked the bubble the last 2 plays. Do they throw the bubble here? They're trying to bait him into it, or do they just try to trust their running back?
I think they're just going to try to slam it one more time. 4th and goal from the 1. Can SNU turn them away? The give to Brown up the middle. He dives. I don't think he got it. He did not. And the SNU defense holds. 4 cracks from the 5-yard line, and Southern Nazarene says no.
Yeah, Luke, I'm really grateful for the SNU defense. I mean, that is tenacity. That is football at its finest. But they were helped out by Southeastern, who ran the same play 3 plays in a row. I mean, no creativity there. And I know if you're getting a chunk here and a chunk there, you got to trust your offensive line. But I just am confused by 3 plays in a row, the same play. So, you know, if you're Alabama and you're running, I think you can do that. But I don't know. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. But
if you're Southeastern, that's called hubris.
I know, man. Change it up. But lucky for SNU and good defensive stand, and Gage Porter's back out there.
Porter, quick out, finds Robertson at the 7. He gets across the 10-yard line, has a first down, 11 yards on first down. Tremendous space eater there for Robertson, getting SNU some breathing room, and SNU's going to push the tempo a little bit here with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, tied at 7. Porter takes the snap, keeps it up the middle. He slips down and falls for a loss of 2 back to the 9-yard line.
That first down play, it's just a sit-down route, right? So, or search route. There's lots of different names for it, but basically it looks like an inside comeback, and the wide receiver just kind of shuffles into his zone, and it's kind of a communication connection, nonverbal, between the quarterback and his wide receiver. And man, Luke, our vantage point on that play was perfect because you saw the defensive line spread out. You saw a linebacker shift over. Gage Porter sidearms it right in there. 2nd and
12. 2nd and about 13, actually, from the 9. Robertson to the top of the formation. Porter looks that way. It's a draw all the way. Splits the defense up the middle. He goes up to about the 13, or excuse me, that's up to the 18-yard line. So that'll make it a much more manageable 3rd and about 5 here for the Crimson Storm.
Yeah, Gage Porter looks fresh today, Luke. Seems to have a little bit more spring in his step. Running hard.
Under a minute to go, first quarter. 3rd and 4 officially for SNU after the goal line stand by the Crimson Storm defense. 2 wide either side, Zepeda to the left of Porter in the pistol set. Porter's back to pass, has time, fires it out, and it's intercepted on the far side by Joseph Jones. A long throw from the near hash all the way to the far sidelines, and Jones drove on it and got the 2nd turnover of the quarter for the Savage Storm.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time we've seen that play today, Luke. The first time it was successful, it was a shorter throw. It's a sticks route, right? You're throwing to your wide receiver, runs maybe 1 or 2 yards past the sticks and comes back hard towards the sticks, towards the out of bounds. But that's a long throw. It's a long throw. Corner sits on it, and as soon as the wide receiver makes his break, he jets forward and is able to get the interception.
7th interception of the season for Gage Porter, and the Southeastern offense back out there with 38 seconds to go in the period. Conway, screen pass out to Caleb Whitley with it. Inside the 15 he goes before he is forced out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Jake Wright's in position to make that play, and it's difficult to make an open field tackle, but it's one you got to have. If you're going to defend the bubble, you've got to tackle the open field player.
30 seconds and counting. 2nd and 5 for the Savage Storm. Conway back to pass, looks right, goes for the end zone, overshot his man Deuce Pittman. 3rd down coming up for Southeastern.
Yeah, and that looked like it just came out of his hands a little bit wrong. Good coverage, though. I mean, it would have been a difficult throw either way.
"17 seconds to go in the period. 3rd and 5, 3 wide receivers to the left for Southeastern. Brown in the backfield. Conway looking left. Fires it on the slant, knocked away. He was looking for Whitley, who sat down at the sticks, but Emmanuel Obina with the PBU there. And
yeah.
Southeastern forced to kick a field goal with 13 seconds to go in the quarter.
I mean, 2 incredible defensive stands, right, in their red zone. Also, I think Southeastern got off with a little bit of offside. Pittman there on the inside receiver kind of took off a little bit.
So Dylan Cox, freshman from Alvarado, Texas, 4 of 6 on field goal tries this season from the right hash. It's a 30-yarder, puts it up, and it's good. 9 seconds remaining in the quarter, and Southeastern takes a 10-7 lead. But if you're SNU, you will gladly accept a 3-point deficit when this very well could be 14-point deficit.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been ugly really quick on 2 turnovers just like that. I think the thing, though, that if you're the Crimson Storm, you're thinking about is that, man, you've really had control of the game. You've put yourself in positions to move the ball down the field, but you got to finish drives. You got to hold on to the football and reduce those turnovers. I mean, if you're the offense, you got to be pleased that your defense is playing so well. And now it's your time to take advantage of it. So, yeah, I mean, 2 uncharacteristic plays by Gage Porter kind of back-to-back, and I don't expect to keep seeing that the rest of this game.
2 turnovers for SNU. That makes 5 out of 7 games this season with at least 2 turnovers for SNU, giving them 17 so far this season. Nally, high end over end kick for Southeastern. This will be May from the middle of the field at the 2. Angling left again. Sheds one tackler, but he won't make the 20. Wrapped up at the 17-yard line with 1.3 seconds to go in the period. Matt Howard is in on that tackle for Southeastern. So one more play heading to the north for SNU. And we'll swap ends as we move into the second quarter. SNU received to start the game. Southeastern will get the ball to start the third quarter. Already 5 pass attempts here in the first quarter for SNU. It's, it feels a little high.
Yeah.
Just
hilarious. Five pass attempts.
As opposed to normal. Porter takes a snap. Gives to Cepeda right up the middle. He's got space and speed at the 30, 35. Sheds a tackler. 40, 45-yard line. Carlos Cepeda out to the 46-yard line. A gain of 29 yards to end the first quarter. With the score, Southeastern 10, SNU 7, but on the move. We'll take a break and come back with the start of the second stanza right after these messages. This is SNU football.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
It's a beautiful morning, Scotty, and we have an early game today.
That injured list, it's getting longer by the minute.
Not to mention, there's apparently a nasty virus sweeping through the locker room.
Yeah, but these players, they're in good hands.
All of them need to feel their best this season, Scotty.
Yes, they do, Jack, because this team is on track to win it all this year.
Every day, Mercy's team is ready to take care of yours, bringing you the care you need now. Find out all the ways to access Mercy at mercynow.net.
Welcome back to Bethany, the start of the second quarter with Southeastern leading Southern Nazarene 10-7. Luke McConnell and Landry Franks with you. SNU at their own 46. Porter gives it to Cepeda, following the pulling left tackle David Armijo, and he crosses midfield for a gain of 6 all the way up down to the Southeastern 48-yard line.
Yeah, you got to love when a big guy's out there lead blocking for a quick running back. Armijo's on his horse and lays a good block on that first level. Just brings a big run.
Wide receiver either side. SNU goes quick. Porter gives it to Fellows, trying to get outside. Flag comes in as Fellows goes out of bounds. I think they're going to get Carlos Cepeda with a hold here.
Yeah, not a big one, but definitely a hold. Slow down that defensive end.
Officials discussing. I think this is going to be it'll be 10 yards from the previous spot, making it second down and 15. Back at the SNU 40-yard line. Should be the 41-yard line. So they just marked off an 11-yard penalty, but this is the norm.
Yeah, from time to time.
Wide receiver either side. SNU stays in that diamond formation. Coach Hayden mentioned he was going to ride that a lot today. 8 on the play clock for Porter. Now Robertson goes in motion to the far side of the field. Porter, quarterback draw all the way. Gets a nice block upfield. Is met at midfield by Tyvion Williams. Porter falls across midfield to the Southeastern 49-yard line. So he gets the penalty yardage back, where it'll be 3rd down and 5 with 13:50 to go before halftime.
Yeah, that's right. And this is not just third. Well, it is 3rd down, but what I mean is this 2-down territory, Luke. This is the positions that SNU likes to be in, so they can use their whole playbook on 3rd down and their whole playbook on 4th down, if needed.
Ball on the left hash. Wide receiver to either side for the Crimson Storm. Porter takes a snap. Fakes it to Cepeda. Now he's in trouble. Cuts it back against the grain. Shovels it forward with one hand, and it's incomplete off the hands of Cepeda. What a wild sequence of events that was, SNU fortunate not to get an illegal man downfield on that play.
Just about to say, shout out to the offensive line for knowing the creativity of Gage Porter and not getting too far down the field on that play.
4th and 5, SNU leaving the offense on the field with 13:15 to go before halftime, trailing 10-7. 2 wide to either side. Fellows comes in motion to the near side. Porter rolls to the right, looking for help, fires it in the middle of the field, left it short for Asa Robertson, incomplete, turnover on downs. He had Robertson, but short hopped that throw.
Well, and I think Asa Robertson and 27 Fellows bumped into each other. Fellows was on the ground that play. I think when they were crossing routes, they tipped over, and I wonder if Gage Porter was looking for Fellows coming across the formation. When he fell down, he had to be quick with his decisions. Stalling out for the SNU offense. Started quickly and struggling here in the second quarter.
Southeastern takes over just on their side of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Marquise Gray in motion at the top of the formation. Conway takes the snap, gives it to Brown, running left, cuts it up inside, is taken down by Jalen Mays after a gain of 3. Down to the SNU 48-yard line. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Savage Storm. Outside of that carry for 46 yards, Brown just 7 carries for 10 yards thus far for Southeastern. 2 wide either side for Southeastern, right in the middle of the field. Conway, low snap, gets it, gives it to Brown right up the middle, broke a tackle. He's got the first down across the SNU 40 to the 39-yard line. And that was nearly problems again, Landry.
Yeah, they see something they like in the middle of that defensive line for the Crimson Storm. I mean, they're not doing anything overly creative. I mean, just inside zone, and they're faking a screen pass on the outside, making SNU stay disciplined, having to keep their outside linebackers spread out.
Ball in the middle of the field, 1st and 10 from the SNU 39. Conway back to pass, fires a slant to Hawthorne, and a flag's coming out here on Holden Hill. Hill is on the backside of Hunter Hawthorne there. A little bit too much contact.
Yeah, and I don't think he was trying to knock him down. I think he was just, when that ball comes in, sometimes a wide receiver slows down, and if you run over him, I mean, still pass interference.
So we'll check if this is a spot foul or the 15-yard variety. So spot foul for Southeastern. So it only moves it up to the SNU 32-yard line, so that's nice. 1st and 10, Savage Storm, 2 wide left, 1 to the right with the ball on the right hash. Now 3 wide left with Gray in motion to that side. Conway gives it to Hurt, right up the middle he goes, taken down by Jesse Fairchild after a gain of 1. Down to the SNU 31-yard line. 2nd down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, and good defensive congestion from the Crimson Storm. I also liked kind of on the back end of this play, right? You have wide receivers still running routes and SNU defenders staying disciplined with them, not letting anyone go free.
2 wide left, 1 to the right, 2 back set for Conway. Conway back to pass, quick screen out to Giassi Smith, trying to get outside. Seth Spruill, nice job tracking him down. Smith, a speedy guy, but Spruill got him out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Gain of 5, it brings up 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, and Luke, this is what I was talking about. You got to stay disciplined when they're consistently running a fake bubble, fake go, fake bubble, fake go, fake bubble, fake go, and they're handing the ball off on the inside the whole time. It's easy to just be like, well, they're not going to pass it, because they will pass it. And if you get caught falling asleep like that, that's a touchdown. And good job by Spruill getting out there and getting that speedy receiver.
3rd and 4, 11 minutes to go. Second quarter, 10-7, Southeastern with the lead. Ball on the left hash for Conway. Conway back to pass, looking right. Fires the go route, looking for Giassi Smith. Bates Spruill off the line this time, and he's got a touchdown. The slot fade for Giassi Smith, and a beautiful throw from the sophomore Conaway.
Yeah, and it's hard as an outside linebacker to cover a slot receiver. I mean, that's a matchup that Southeastern's going to take every game, and it's no knock to Spruill, who's played well, but just not as fast as that quick receiver.
Second touchdown of the season for Giassi Smith. Dylan Cox on for the extra point. Puts it up and through. So with 10:53 to go before halftime, our new score, Southeastern 17 and Southern Nazarene 7. We'll take a timeout and be back with more. This is SNU Football.
Renew is the University Counseling Center. We are located at 6710 Northwest 43rd Street, just north of the Webster Commons. Renew offers a variety of services, including individual counseling, couples counseling, and psychoeducational workshops. The first 5 sessions for students are free, and students will never pay more than $10 per session. Faculty counseling is just $40 per session. Renew is open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Fridays from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. For more information, visit renew.snu.edu or email renew@mail.snu.edu.
$10:53 to go before halftime in Bethany. Southeastern has jumped out to a 10-point lead, 17-7 over Southern Nazarene. Crimson Storm got a 74-yard touchdown run from Gage Porter on the first series of the game, but it has been all Southeastern since. 3 scores and 2 forced turnovers. SNU looking to respond on this drive. Jackson Nally has this one teed up, looking for a very short angled kick. Instead, he'll send it moderately deep. He'll come down to an SNU player at the 23-yard line as Colton Morris has it and gets up to the 27-yard line before he is taken down. So 1st and 10 for the Crimson Storm at their own 27-yard line. 3 straight turnovers of some sort for the Crimson Storm. The fumble, the goal line stand then for SNU, then the interception, and then SNU holding Southeastern to a field goal, and then the turnover on downs right at midfield. So 3 straight possessions giving Southeastern advantageous field position. Let's see what the Crimson Storm offense can do here. 2 wide right with the ball on the left hash. Asa Robertson out left. Zapata in the backfield with Gage Porter. Now Robertson comes in motion to the near side. Porter fakes it to him. Fires it right down the middle of the field. He's got Aaron Fellows wide open inside the Southeastern 40-yard line, and Fellows was wide open from the jump.
Donovan Hill was too. I mean, he had his choice. I mean, that they were splitting the safety. It was a perfectly designed route concept. Looked like cover 3, and 2 of the coverages were playing the run.
Porter back to pass as SNU goes quick. He's got time, fires it over the middle. Zapata catches it, sheds a tackle, makes another man miss all the way to the 20-yard line before Braden Winters finally took him down. A gain of 17, and SNU on the march quickly, and now flags fly from the backside of the play.
Two quick flags.
Aaron Fellows was slow to come back to the huddle. Let's see who this is going to be on.
Can't tell by body language.
Gage Porter doesn't seem pleased, but so the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Zapata. Didn't see what happened there.
Yeah, and Luke, I don't know if anything physical happened. I wonder if something was said, because both of those referees threw their flags quickly.
Simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah. So in effect, that 17-yard reception now becomes essentially a gain of 2, but it remains first down for SNU from the Southeastern 35-yard line. Zepeda behind Porter. Porter pulls it out of his belly, makes a man miss, and Tyvion Williams fills the gap and stands Porter up. And has some words for him as he gets in his face. The SNU sideline and faithful wondering where the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is there. It's not coming out after a gain of 2 for Porter.
Yeah, do you really want to fuel Gage Porter to play more physical? Like that kind of trash talk is
I certainly wouldn't.
is mind-boggling to me.
2nd and 8, 9:35 to go before halftime. Diamond formation here for SNU with a wide receiver to either side. Porter takes the snap, and a timeout before the play is going to be whistled by Bo Atterbury. So Southeastern takes timeout. We'll take timeout as well. 9:26 to go first half. 17-7 Southeastern. We'll be back after these messages.
It's a beautiful morning, Scotty, and we have an early game today.
That injured list, it's getting longer by the minute.
Not to mention, there's apparently a nasty virus sweeping through the locker room.
Yeah, but these players, they're in good hands.
All of them need to feel their best this season, Scotty.
Yes, they do, Jack, because this team is on track to win it all this year.
Every day, Mercy's team is ready to take care of yours, bringing you the care you need now. Find out all the ways to access Mercy at mercynow.net.
Welcome back to Bethany. 2nd and 8 for the Crimson Storm after the first timeout of the half for Southeastern. Porter takes a snap, fakes the give to Robertson, plows his way up the middle into the teeth of the defense before he's hurled back by Caleb Nettles, freshman out of Allen, Texas. Indy Cardenas a little slow to get up for SNU, but gain of 2 for Porter down to the 31-yard line, 3rd down and 6. As we approach 9 minutes to go before halftime, 17-7. Southeastern with the lead.
Yeah, need a result in scoring here. Doesn't have to be a touchdown, but it's got to be some points on the board.
2 wide to either side for the Crimson Storm. Zepeda to the left of Porter. He's got the snap, back to pass. Flushed, now he's in trouble. Sheds one defensive lineman, now he's in trouble again. Fires it downfield, he's got Zepeda. Collision at the 21-yard line. It's incomplete. Michael Hoofkin came off his receiver and hit Zepeda right as the ball arrived. A nice play by Hoofkin to force the incompletion.
Yeah, and I don't, crowd certainly wants a pass interference, but both guys going for the football. There's no pass interference there. Tricky 4th down here, probably too long for a field goal.
Be 48 yards from here. Van Pruyen has only attempted 1 field goal this season.
Yeah.
Adam Atwell attempted one earlier this year at Northwestern and missed. So SNU just 1 of 2 on field goals this season, and they will go. Right in the middle of the field now, they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, they were running. The play clock was, when they snapped the huddle, was about 6 seconds left. So Coach Hayes started walking down there to get that timeout called. Probably wise anyway to talk through what you want to do here.
SNU has moved the ball effectively with some big plays in this game, but outside of the big plays, Landry, it has been a little bit tough sledding, but they've just gotten bogged down at the wrong moments.
Yeah, they certainly have, and it just seem out of character. This reminds me of that Harding game where, yeah, there were some big plays that they had, but just couldn't get in a rhythm offensively. rhythm is really important for this offense. They like to slow down and speed it up and keep the defense on their toes, and it seemed like the defense has really been dictating the pace of this game, putting them in some situations that they don't want to be in, but also they've had some penalties that just don't make a lot of sense. They should be in field goal range right here, not 15 yards further than they were.
4 penalties for 37 yards thus far for SNU. Have not been great in the penalty department this year. 2 wide to either side. 4th and 6 from the Southeastern 31. Porter's back to pass. Fires it inside. Tisdale had it in his hands but dropped it. It would have been a first down right at the 25-yard line. But the Crimson Storm come up empty for the 4th straight trip.
Yeah, and he's looking for that sit-down route all the way, but the backside you have crossing routes. You have Donald May, who's running kind of an arrow route that turns into an up, kind of a long wheel route. Oh, and he had his man beaten. I mean, it's a touchdown for sure, but when you're trying to get the ball out of your hands quickly, it's hard to look to one side of the field and back to the other.
So Southeastern takes over at their own 31-yard line right in the middle of the field, coming off a touchdown drive. Conway gives to Brown, trying to make a man miss in the hole. He cannot do so, taken down after a 2-yard gain. Hiram Flores coming down from his safety position, making the initial tackle. Only 2nd down and 8 for the Savage Storm, leading 17-7, 8 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, and these inside linebackers should be having a field day right now. I mean, it's inside run to them. Every play they got to get off their blocks and make a play.
2 wide either side for Southeastern. Conway takes a snap. Quick out, looking for Marquise Gray. And he secures the catch before he went out of bounds up at the 38-yard line. A 5-yard pickup will make it 3rd down and 3. And here comes a Wildcat package as Conway checks out. And the linebacker Caleb High comes out as well. SNU substituting and take their time.
That's right.
Now has to hurry off. It's going to be High, who's the Wildcat quarterback. He's got 2 backs in front of him, 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Excuse me, that's DJ Brown, who's back, and now Southeastern's going to have to burn a timeout. The field judge on the far side threw a flag.
Yeah, and he's
so I think we might get illegal participation, hopefully not on the Crimson Storm. He's counting on the back side. But the timeout was called, so this shouldn't.
Yeah. Breaking the huddle with a certain amount of people, but there was no huddle. That made my only guess.
So now 6 of the 7 officials are now huddled at the 40-yard line discussing this. And now we'll get a call here. Maybe. So it is illegal substitution on SNU. 12 men in formation. Now Coach Hayda's wanting an explanation.
Yeah, and he deserves one. I don't understand why there's a penalty when the timeout is taken. The ball wasn't snapped. He doesn't like whatever explanation was given to him.
So the 5-yard penalty moves it up to the 44-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. Now more discussions with the referee and the field judge. .7:41 to go before halftime. Southeastern with a fresh set of downs. Clock moves. Wide receivers to the left and right here for Conway. Low snap, got it. Fires it down the field looking for Hunter Hawthorne. He's got it in stride inside the SNU 30-yard line. all the way down to the 25 of SNU. Great throw from Conaway, who hit Hunter Hawthorne right in stride. Just dropped it in over the shoulder of Holden Hill.
Conway's been on the money all game today. He's played well for his second start. I mean, he's really done well.
So the Savage Storm knocking on the door of the red zone once again at the 25-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Conaway takes the snap, gives it to Brown at the middle, taken down, loss of 1. Ben Rutherford coming off the edge from his outside linebacker position with the tackle, 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, and this is some of the danger, right? If you're SNU, right? Like, that is a great play, and you're going to have to start committing to the run, taking your outside linebackers on stunts and blitzes to try to get some pressure on that run game. But it opens you up so much in the pass game where you have to run man coverage against a wide receiving core that is really talented. More substitution confusion by the Storm.
Got the right numbers out there. Here's the snap. It's a reverse. Giassi Smith trying to get outside. He's got blockers inside the 15 before he's wrestled down by Emmanuel Obina at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Savage Storm.
Yeah, perfectly timed called reverse there for the Savage Storm. And they're just taking large chunks down the field in this drive.
15-yard pickup. Alex Rainwater, the offensive coordinator for Southeastern, one of the 2 holdovers from Tyler Fenwick's staff last season. Fenwick taking the head coaching job at Missouri Western in the offseason. 1st and goal, Southeastern. Conaway gives to Brown, slips down in the backfield and falls at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And the field judge having a brief chat with Hunter Hawthorne and Holden Hill, who's getting a little aggressive on the outside. Hawthorne lost his helmet. 5:14 and counting. 17-7 Southeastern, but they're knocking on the door for more. 3 wide left. Conaway takes a snap, looks left, fires, looking for the back corner, and it's caught by Pittman, but out of bounds. Going for the 6'4 senior from Frisco, but he landed out of bounds. He went up high against Holden Hill, but unable to find the black.
Yeah, and we saw this Southeastern right on film last week has a situation just like this. They run fades the whole time. And it's a good pass. It's too far outside, and Holden Hill's in perfect coverage there. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, and even then it was a little tight.
So 3rd and goal, SNU trying to turn away an and goal situation once again. 3 wide left. Gray the farthest to the SNU sideline. Ball on the right hash. SNU showing blitz. Here they come. Conway back to pass. Pressured. And he's crushed! Back at the 17-yard line by Carter Brock. Never saw him coming, and the sophomore just obliterated the Southeastern quarterback.
Oh, man, and someone missed the gap assignment there. I think that's on the running back. Can't be for sure unless you watch the film, but if you got an inside linebacker coming on a stunt up the middle, someone's got to pick him up. Nobody does, and he gets leveled in the backfield.
4th and goal from the 17, Southeastern leaving the offense out there, but I think this might be a timeout situation here.
I think so. Try to get 5 yards to make a field goal easier. Just watch the ball here. They run a play.
And a timeout is given to Southeastern. So I'd imagine we'll see the field goal unit come on out of the timeout. 4th and goal from the 17. But the defense has done so much, Landry, just given the positions that they've been dealt so far in this one.
Yeah, they played a pretty clean game, and they've been on the field a long time in this first half, longer than they should be for sure. But they played really well, and credit defensive coordinator drawing up the blitz when he sees the opportunity to take advantage of a 3rd and 10 there, or 3rd and goal, and man, just not giving up. You know, I think in the past we've seen SNU defense certainly didn't give up, right? I'm not trying to disparage any former players or anything like that, but I think the culture that those former players had set is really starting to take hold in the intensity that they have in moments like this, in those like moments where you are learning winning attributes. They're starting to show through, and in particular in the defense this season.
Landry, it looks like the wind is a big factor here for Southeastern's thinking as they leave the offense out there. 4th and goal from the 17-yard line. 2 wide right, 1 to the left. SNU needs to hold here. Conaway back to pass. Looking to the right, fires to the end zone. It's too high, it's incomplete. Looking for Deuce Pittman, no flag. Pittman wanted a flag, but there was no way on God's green earth that Pittman was going to come down with that one.
Yeah,
and absolutely. SNU gets the stop they desperately need.
Yeah, Pittman's a big, tall, physical guy. That ball was 3 feet over his head, and he was in triple coverage. I don't think you're going to get the call there. Breath of life on the sidelines for this Crimson Storm team, and offense needs to go capitalize here with just 4 minutes left in the first quarter. This is a great opportunity to get yourself back in a football game that for a second seemed to be slipping away.
And that was huge because Southeastern starts the 3rd quarter with the football. So a huge stop there for SNU. Let's see if they can put points on the board before halftime and burn the rest of this clock. Porter takes the snap. Quarterback draw. Trying to pick his way up the middle. He cannot do so. He's taken down for a loss of 1. Javion Gardner on the tackle. Back to the 16-yard line. And this Southeastern defensive line giving SNU some problems in the middle of the field. 2nd and 11. 3:40 to go in the first half. Play clock down to 10. Fellows and Zapata flank Porter. Now Fellows goes in motion to the top of the formation. Porter back to pass. And he is swallowed up and sacked. Back at the 11-yard line, that was Jordan Hood, the freshman from Elgin, Texas, who's had a tremendous freshman campaign. 28 tackles this season coming in from his nose tackle position. And that makes it 3rd and 16 now for SNU with 3 minutes to go before halftime.
And Southeastern's getting a lot of pressure on Gage Porter this quarter in particular, and you can see Gage Porter's not feeling as comfortable as he normally is in the pocket, and can't get the ball off.
3 wide left. Zapata comes in motion into the backfield with Porter. Porter has it. Back to pass. He has time this time. Steps up, fires it into the middle field. He's got his tight end, Dalen Smith, at the 34-yard line. A beautiful strike from Porter to Smith. And a big conversion on 3rd and 16 of 24 yards.
Yeah, what Coach Hayda say? Maybe they should just call their pass plays where Gage Porter runs around the field and wide receivers checking the hot routes.
Porter has it. Back to pass. Fires it in the flat. Fellows, he's got a blocker in front. It's Donovan Hill down the sideline. 45, 40, 35, 30. Inside Southeastern territory before he's belted out of bounds. Hoofkin with the big hit, but all the way down at the Southeastern 24-yard line. No flags. SNU on the march again with another big play, Landry.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and blown coverage by Southeastern. You got a wide receiver running across the formation wide open.
2 minutes to go in the half. Porter fakes the give to Bird. Now he'll follow Bird. Inside the 20, inside the 15, runs over his own blocker. Inside the 10-yard line he goes. Down to the 8-yard line goes Gage Porter. 1:44 to go, and SNU's got a 1st and goal situation. 2 timeouts left.
Yeah,
the clock winds, and now they will take the air out of this one.
That's right. There is no rush anymore. You will use as many plays as it takes to get to halftime. This is the SNU offense we're kind of used to seeing, huh, Luke?
Absolutely. 1st and goal from the 8. Smith, the tight end to the right side. Porter draw all the way, circles back around. Now he's in big trouble and taken down for a loss of 4 back to the 12-yard line by Caleb High. 1:10 to go in the quarter. And that draw just has not really been there too much today, Landry.
Except for that first touchdown, you know, it hasn't been that successful. I think Gage Porter really wants to make something happen on that play, but sometimes you just got to follow your blockers. If you lose 2 yards, you lose 2 yards instead of losing 5 yards.
45 seconds to go. SNU in no rush, still 2 timeouts. 2nd and goal from the 12. Porter gives it to Bird. He's got a blocker inside the 10, inside the 5. He dives. Touchdown! Braxton Bird, the freshman from Amarillo. The 12-yard sweep. And SNU into the end zone for the 2nd time today.
Yeah, man. I mean, just Bird, 2 plays earlier is lead blocking for Gage Porter. They run the exact same play there, Luke. This time Bird gets it, makes an incredible play, and is in the end zone.
I think Southeastern is going to challenge this. And this is one of those.
I know, it was really,
or at least
really
he's
close,
called
Luke.
a timeout.
Really, really close.
We'll see if he actually challenges. Okay, so Southeastern is going to challenge this. Let's see what they come up with. Got the replay for you. Don't have it this time, but it was close. Landry, it's hard to tell. Looked like he pushed off inbounds.
Yeah,
it certainly looked like his body was out of bounds as he touched the pylon, but of course he was in the air, so that doesn't matter. So
it was right. I mean, it was right there. You had the head linesman, or excuse me, yeah, the head linesman right there making the call, saying he was in bounds. You know, maybe he did that just out of like, hey, it might get reviewed. It was about as close as I could tell. And again, we're about 50-some yards away, Luke. And the other thing is we have to think about the camera angle. We don't have the pylon cams and stuff like that. We just have the one camera angle. And so it's going to have to be pretty clear evidence that he was out of bounds for them to overturn this touchdown. Even then, I mean, if he is out of bounds, the ball is stretched maybe at the 1 when he steps out. So
certainly still inside the 5
right.
regardless. And it would be 3rd down and goal from inside the 5. So still plenty of opportunity for SNU. 2 more plays with 31 seconds and 2 timeouts to punch this one in. Landry, I mean, that always, you know, you mentioned the head linesman, you know, making that play just in case it gets reviewed. And, you know, it brings up get into the weeds on officiating philosophy on, you know, making a call that enables you to go back to correct it as opposed to make the call you think it is on the field.
Yeah, and you know,
those are 2 very different things.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I feel like with especially plays like this where it is just fractions of an inch sometimes. I mean, you just got to go with your gut instinct, and certainly didn't seem like they were trying to make a safe call. I mean, you probably lean to that intrinsically, but man, it's difficult. Those are moments where I do not envy refereeing at all. Those are tense moments in a close game where, you know, what you decide in your split-second reaction is what's going to happen on the field more than likely.
And this one's a pretty easy one as far as, you know, you make the call on the field or you don't make the call on the field. It's going to be reviewed either way, but but like a forward progress call, that's a tough one. If you blow forward progress dead, then whatever happens after the whistle it doesn't matter. You can't review that anymore. So officials out of the tent, and we'll get the call. And the ruling is confirmed. Always an important distinction.
That's right.
Which
Luke,
means it was absolutely clear that it was a touchdown. So Southeastern loses their timeout and their challenge for the rest of the game.
Their one challenge for the game, or?
Yes, so
Okay.
that is Southeastern out of challenges for the game. So Van Pruyen on for the extra point, kicking with the wind. Snap is bobbled, and it's loose on the ground, and it's finally blown dead. So dropped there by Holder Smith Nave. So SNU comes up empty on the try, making it 17-13 with 31 seconds left.
Yeah, and it's hard not on moments like that to be like, ooh, 4 points and 3 points is kind of a big deal in football.
Absolutely. And that was the position last year for SNU. Found themselves down or up by 4, going up 31-27 early in the fourth quarter. But of course, with how that game went last year, running for 451 yards, there's a whole lot of SNU running in the open field over the fourth quarter. It didn't really matter in the end, fortunately, for the Crimson Storm. See if it does later in this one. 31 seconds left. Still plenty of time for Southeastern with their passing attack to be able to move the ball at least maybe into field goal range, but with the wind out of the north and them heading into it, if you're SNU, try to make a play on first down, limit the damage, and see if Southeastern will just go quietly into the locker room. Savage Storm will get the ball to start the third quarter. Whitley and Williams back deep for Southeastern. Van Pruyen, the run up and the boot. High end over end kick. This will be returnable for Whitley from the 2. Whitley makes a man miss, spins away. Now he's just dancing in the backfield, and now he's swarmed and decked at the 10-yard line. He made Nick Blanchard miss, but Haram Flores not having it as Whitley burns 9 seconds off the clock. 22 seconds to go, 17-13 Southeastern. Good coverage there by the Crimson Storm. Whitley, an all-conference returner a season ago when he averaged 27.5 yards per return.
Yeah, Nick Blanchard starting nose guard, D-tackle, kind of hybrid position there. He's the 5 on the kickoff and runs down, shucks his block, and then gets juked out of his shoes, but gets up, comes back, and helps make the play on that, and is now playing nose guard.
22 seconds. 2 wide right, 1 left for Southeastern. Brown is the back. They give it to him. Brown slips through 1 tackler and not going to escape Kenyatta Richardson up to the 15-yard line. Southeastern out of timeouts, and so that is how the first half is going to come to a close. So SNU gets back on the board late in the first half after a tough middle section of the first half, but they trail 17-13 to the Savage Storm of Southeastern going into the halftime locker room. We'll take an extended break. When we come back, we'll have first half stats, scores from around the conference, including a wild shootout in Arkadelphia right now. We'll break down the first half, give you our thoughts. We'll also have the GAC Rewind coming at you in just a moment. Again, our halftime score, 17-13. Southeastern with the lead over Southern Nazarene. We'll be back after these messages.
This is the Week 6 GAC Rewind. I'm Chase Hartzell. Southeastern Oklahoma State's Marquise Gray caught his third touchdown of the game as time expired to give the Savage Storm a 22-21 win over Arkansas Monticello. The Southeastern offense struggled to get moving in the first half, but scored 22 second-half points in the comeback victory. Gray ended the game with a total of 143 yards receiving on 11 catches. Quarterback Weston Conway threw for 291 yards, the most important of which came on the game winner, as called here by Jay Lindley of the Southeastern Sports Network.
Snap of the game coming here, receives it, looks right, goes back toward Gray. Gray, caught, touchdown Southeastern, a juggling catch at the final buzzer for Marquise Gray. Gray with the hat trick game, and they win in thrilling fashion. Marquise Gray, a walk-off touchdown reception, and Southeastern Oklahoma State escapes 22-21.
In the second buzzer beater of the weekend in the conference, Arkansas Tech kicker Austin Hosier hit a 20-yard game winner as time expired to defeat Southwestern Oklahoma State 9-7. It marked the third straight year in the series Tech has won the game on a last-second field goal. Wonder Boy quarterback Tay Gatewood accounted for 229 total yards. For SWOSU, R.J. Powell led the way on defense with 11 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and a forced fumble. Here's Sam Strassner of River Country KCJC with a call of Tech's game-winning field goal.
3 seconds left. 7-6 Southwestern Oklahoma State. And a 19-yard field goal from the left hash mark out of a hold by Aaron Wynn. They're going to mark it all the way back to the 10, so it'll be a 20-yard field goal. A 20-yard field goal for Austin Hosier on the final play of the game. Gregor Jones is the snapper. Austin Hosier waits. The snap, the hold, the kick. It is good! Austin Hosier from 20 yards on the final play of the game. I told you not to worry. I told you not to worry.
Oklahoma Baptist's slow start and SAU's dominant running game in the first half gave the Mule Riders a 28-3 halftime lead, and SAU kept its foot on the gas en route to a 63-24 win over the Bison. The Mule Riders had 592 yards of total offense, 477 of those on the ground, and 3 100-yard rushers, quarterback Obi Jones and running backs Caden Roach and Arquez Gomez. Jones scored 4 total touchdowns, including this 51-yard run in the first quarter, as called by Dan Gregory on the Mule Rider Sports Network.
Mule Riders will line up in a hurry. 1st and 10 from their 49-yard line. Just under 13 minutes to play first quarter. Fake to the tailback, and here goes Jones. He's going to go the distance to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. O.B. Jones. They bid on the fake to Jarek Scales going left. Jones went right, and he took it to the house.
Henderson State jumped out to a 21-point first-half lead and defeated Southern Nazarene 42-28. The Reddies rushed for over 300 yards in the win. Quarterback Andrew Edwards threw for 196 yards and scored 5 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 3 through the air. Edwards connected on 2 of those touchdowns with wide receiver Chris Hatzes, who ended the game with 146 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, one of which came on this play in the fourth quarter. Here's that call from Blake Smith on the Henderson State Sports Network.
2 receivers to either side, bunched in not super tight. Edwards wants to throw, now steps up, throws over the middle, finds Hatzis again, first down and more into Southern Nazarene territory, and there goes Chris Hatzis again. Touchdown Reddies. 59 yards. Hatzis made several men miss, and the Reddies strike again.
Ouachita opened the game with 17 unanswered points, led 24-7 at halftime, and held that advantage in a 31-14 win at East Central. Quarterback Riley Harms was 19 of 28 passing for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns, to go along with 79 rushing yards. Receiver Connor Flanagan was Harms' favorite target of the day, with 11 catches for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ouachita's defense provided pressure early with this late first-quarter interception by Mario Ganter Jr., leading to an OBU touchdown. This is the call from Rex Nelson of the Ouachita Football Network.
Tigers of East Central with an empty backfield now. 5 wide outs. Mungale sets, throws, near side, picked off by Ouachita. Coming up with it for the Tigers, Mario Ganter Jr.
Harding dominated Northwestern Oklahoma State from the outset in a 62-0 win over the Rangers. Harding's defense played lights out, not only keeping the Rangers scoreless, but putting up points as well with a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown from Oric Walker Jr. The Bison's ground attack was a terror for the Rangers defense all night, having 6 different players score rushing touchdowns. One of those 6 was this Braden J 37-yard touchdown run, which gave the Bisons a 20-0 lead. Here's that call from Billy Morgan on the Harding Sports Network.
Second quarter, toss left side, Jay at the 30, gets outside, inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Harding. Braden Jay, 37 yards for the touchdown, and Harding leads it by a 20-0 score with 14:51 remaining in the second quarter.
This week in the Great American Conference, 5 games will kick off at 2 o'clock, including Oklahoma Baptist at Southwestern Oklahoma State, Southeastern Oklahoma State at Southern Nazarene, Arkansas Monticello at Arkansas Tech, Southern Arkansas at Henderson State, and East Central at Northwestern Oklahoma State. At 6 o'clock, all eyes will turn to First Security Stadium in Searcy for a national top 10 matchup as Ouachita travels to Harding. This has been the Week 6 GAC Rewind. I'm Chase Hartzell.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days, I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
It's a beautiful morning, Scotty, and we have an early game today.
That injured list, it's getting longer by the minute.
Not to mention, there's apparently a nasty virus sweeping through the locker room.
Yeah, but these players, they're in good hands.
All of them need to feel their best this season, Scotty.
Yes, they do, Jack, because this team is on track to win it all this year.
Every day, Mercy's team is ready to take care of yours, bringing you the care you need now. Find out all the ways to access Mercy at mercynow.net.
And welcome back to Bethany. Halftime between Southern Nazarene and Southeastern Oklahoma State. 17-13. Southeastern with the lead over Southern Nazarene after 30 minutes in the books. Crimson Storm getting the job done on offense. 301 yards in the first half, 36 plays, 8.4 yards per play. Southeastern 29 plays, 171 yards, 5.9 yards per play. But it's been the turnovers, been the story thus far. SNU 2 turnovers in the first half, plus 2 turnovers on downs. Southeastern with 10 points off of those turnovers for the Crimson Storm, leading us to our halftime deficit for SNU. Let's take a quick look at scores from around the conference before we run through some first half stats. Over in Weatherford, Oklahoma Baptist leads Southwestern 10-3 at the break. Halftime in Arkadelphia, it is a shootout between Henderson State and Southern Arkansas, 28-21. Henderson State with the lead over Southern Arkansas at the break. Up in Alva, all East Central at halftime, 35-0. The Tigers all over the Rangers, as we figured that would be the case. Into the second half we go in Russellville. Arkansas Tech leading Arkansas Monticello 10-3 in a tight one. A bit of a surprise there. But here in Bethany, 17-13, Southeastern with the lead. Gage Porter, 7-13, 148 yards with an interception. Also has 103 yards on the ground with a 74-yard touchdown run. Carlos Cepeda, 4 carries for 38 yards. In the first half, Braxton Bird, 1 for 12 and a score. 2 catches, 78 yards for Aaron Fellows, 3 for 30 for Asa Robertson, 1 for 23 for Dalen Smith, 1 for 17 for Carlos Cepeda. Weston Conaway, 6-12 through the air, 86 yards and a touchdown. DJ Brown, 13 carries, 72 yards and a touchdown, 1 for 16 for Giassi Smith. In the first half, Smith also has 2 catches, 31 yards and a touchdown, 1 for 31 for Hunter Hawthorne, 2 for 20 for Marquise Gray, and 1 for 4 for Caleb Whitley. SNU 4 of 8 on third downs in the first half, controlled the time of possession, 17:51 to 12:09. 1 punt each way, 5 penalties, 42 yards for SNU in the first half, no penalties for Southeastern, which is right on brand, as SNU, the 8th most penalized team in the conference. Southeastern tied for first in the nation in fewest penalties, just 3.5 per game this season. Landry, your thoughts on the first half, particularly the halftime performance here in Bethany?
Maybe the best halftime performance SNU has ever seen. There were cheerleaders came out. Daughter was one of them, 5-year-old.
She's having a blast.
She stole the show, standing by her cousin, some of our friends, and
right at midfield too.
That's
she
right.
Got the
well,
prime
you know,
position.
you put the best cheerleaders at the 50-yard line. Everyone knows that. And not surprised as a father that my daughter was right in the middle. So, oh man, say that in jest. Grateful for SNU and all the stuff they do outside of football for the community, and cool to see my daughter out there today. My son is here today too, and he's loving the football action and envious that she got to go on the field. So
there's always post game.
That's right. Yeah, no, you know, I think talking about this game in particular, Luke, I think if you're SNU, you like the first 8 minutes and you like the last 4 minutes, and everything else you kind of want to throw in the garbage. They certainly had, other than maybe the defensive stands, they played excellent. I'm speaking offensively here. They need to clean it up offensively and have some consistent progression down the field. Defensively, I don't know that you can play much better of a game. I mean, a couple opportunities where Southeastern took advantage of some mismatches, but other than that, I mean, they've played really, really well, really sound football.
3 red zone trips for Southeastern, 3 points. 2 of those getting down inside the 10-yard line. So great job defensively keeping it where it's at. SNU kicking off right to left to start the second half. SNU will have the wind in the fourth quarter. Van Pruyen, the run up and the boot. High end over end kick. It's going to be Andre Williams at the 22, trying to bounce it to the near side, trying to turn the corner. He cannot do so. Nice job there by Quentin Smith, redshirt freshman out of Pineland, Texas, chopping down Williams at the 30-yard line. That's where Southeastern will take over, 1st and 10. Weston Conaway, the sophomore, getting his second start today at quarterback. He's been solid.
Yeah, he's played well.
But also not coming out here to start the second half.
He took a big shot at the end of that second quarter. I wonder, Luke, if that is why there's a quarterback change.
It's going to be Kane Donovan, the redshirt freshman from right here in Oklahoma City, John Marshall High School. He's the guy, his first action of the season. Fumbles the first snap, picks it up, panicking, slings it sidearm to Hunter Hawthorne at the 34-yard line. Hawthorne gets across the 45-yard line up to the 46-yard line. Nice job by Donovan with the sidearm sling, and good job by the senior receiver, Hunter Hawthorne, making himself available there.
Yeah, it looked like he got his jitters out on that first play. And
you
puts it in.
If you're SNU, you want him to hold on to those jitters
that's
just
right.
a little bit longer.
That's right.
1st and 10, Southeastern, middle of the field at their own 46-yard line. Donovan throwing, looking for Hawthorne. overshot him into the sideline. Josh Johnson with good coverage there. My mistake, Kane Donovan has appeared in one game, 3 for 3 for 32 yards. So that incompletion there, his first incompletion of his career, and so he will no longer be perfect in that regard. At least he got that out of the way as well.
Yes. You know, he does. He's, you know, it's only been 2 plays, Luke, but he's staring down his receivers right now. Wonder if that'll continue. Freshman, it's pretty typical to kind of telegraph where you're going with the ball.
2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Donovan back to pass, looking right. Now he's flushed, fires it down the field. It's an arm punt, but he's got Whitley. Oh, and he dropped it. Ball got knocked around in the wind a little bit, and Whitley, who had Aaron Randall beat badly, couldn't come up with it. And now Whitley is slow to get up, and he hobbles off the field in some pain.
Yeah, and Donovan, man, I mean, really gets all of that one, throws that ball in the air 50 yards on the money, and Whitley just can't bring it in.
Fortunate break for SNU a minute into the third quarter. It's now 3rd and 10 for Southeastern. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Brown is the back to the left of Donovan. Donovan gives to Brown right up the middle. Now he bounces it outside to the left, and he's got space. 40, beats around Flores on the angle, down the sideline, 30, and finally taken down out of bounds as Flores chased him down, but not before he got to the SNU 22-yard line, a gain of 30.
Yeah, and it looked like there was a hold on that one on Jesse Fairchild getting picked up by his jersey a little bit. No call, though, and big play for the Savage Storm.
13:40 to go, third quarter. Southeastern on the march just outside the SNU red zone. This is where the SNU defense has pinned its ears back on multiple occasions today. See if they can do it again. Donovan takes a snap, gives it to Ryan Hurt up the middle, met in the hole by Carter Brock. He's going nowhere. No gain on the play as Brock filling the hole, the 4th leading tackler in the conference with 48 coming into this afternoon. That's 5 now today for the sophomore out of Louisville, Texas.
Yeah, playing well. Sure tackler. That's what you need from the linebacker position.
A generous 1 to the 21-yard line. 2nd and 9 from the left hash. Donovan motions Hurt out of the backfield. Donovan looking right, now goes back left. Fires it to the back of the end zone. 2 wide of Giassi Smith. It's incomplete. 3rd down upcoming.
Yeah, Donovan's shown his arm strength. He's certainly done lack in that area, and pressure from Crimson Storm seems to be getting closer and closer and closer each pass play.
Southeastern not shy in letting him sling it around. Haven't opted to just grind it away on the run game. They're going to chuck it around a little bit, which means we might be here a while.
It's a great day for football, though,
it is.
Luke.
Can't complain. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. 3rd down and 9 for Southeastern. Donovan back to pass. Fires it to the right, and it's knocked away and caught. Hunter Hawthorne plucked it out of the air. He gets down to the 20-yard line, but SNU comes up with the stop. I had no idea where the ball was.
Well,
I just knew that it didn't get to Marquise Gray.
It looked like, oh man, it looked like Omasigo got the initial hand on it. Again, I could be wrong, but then it hit a helmet and hit another helmet, and then I think hit someone's shoulder pads and into the arms of the Savage Storm wide receiver.
Dylan Cox on for the field goal. Going to be a 37-yarder just inside the right hash. Snap, hold, kick is on the way, and it is good. So the true freshman Dylan Cox with a word for Josh Johnson as they run off the field. That's interesting flex. As the score now moves to 20-13 in favor of Southeastern. 12 minutes to go third quarter. We'll take time out and be back with more after this break.
One of my favorite things about SNU was the relationships I was able to have with people, with professors, with friends.
One thing that was purposely different about SNU was the integration of faith into the academics. I feel like I learned so much from that helped prepare me for life after college, to be a husband and someday to be a father. It was a really, really transformational time in my life.
My degree could have come from anywhere, but my relationships with people, I know I would not have gotten anywhere else. Go to snu.edu to apply or to schedule a visit.
Welcome back to Bethany. Southeastern adds a field goal to start the third quarter to extend their lead to 7, 20-13. 12:04 to go third quarter, and Landry are setting up for a back-and-forth afternoon. It's not too surprising. Last year, SNU won 45-34 down in Durant. Shaping up to be something similar this afternoon. Jackson Nally kicking it with the wind for Southeastern. Donald May and Braxton Bird standing in the end zone ready to receive it. This one will be returnable. May from the goal line. Keeps it on the far sideline, busts through one hole, but it's taken down at the 21-yard line. Ashton Bennett, the freshman from Gunter, Texas, in on that tackle. So SNU will start 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. A good drive to cap off the first half. Several big plays a part of that. Let's see if SNU can grind a little bit here and burn some clock. They had a 5-minute time of possession advantage in the first half, even with all the big plays. See if they can keep that advantage going. Ball's on the right hash. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Gage Porter and the Crimson Storm offense. Porter has the snap, sticks it in the belly of Carlos Cepeda, runs right into the teeth of the defense. And he'll get 3 to the 24-yard line. Cameron Tate in on the tackle along with a host of other white shirts. Cepeda a little slow, being helped to his feet, and he's going to jog off.
Yeah.
Donald May checks in.
Maybe just a little bit of extra contact. Need a breather.
2nd and 7. Porter takes a snap, runs right, option pitch to May. Tried to make a man miss, but a nice job on Michael Hoofkin. May with a nice job spinning away from the tackle to gain 4 more yards up to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, and this is one thing Coach Ada talked to us about and met with him this week, is that speed option. They like the speed option against this Savage Storm defense. And Gage Porter, you know, he just runs it so well. He's not selfish. And Donald May, obviously, just quick, elusive, usually turns what could be a 2-yard gain into maybe 3 or 4. And all of a sudden, this is third manageable.
Southeastern with 5 defensive backs out there right now. Smith, the tight end, to the right side of the formation. 3rd and 3. Porter, draw all the way, follows a couple blockers, finds some space on the outside, 30, 35, and he's tackled out of bounds by Cameron Tate up at the 40-yard line. Nice down blocking there. Aaron Fellows was the guy who washed his man right into the crowd at the end of the line of scrimmage, allowing Porter to bounce outside.
Yeah, and that's why they like that QB draw, because it gives Gage Porter lots of options to run the football. Inside, outside. Usually it's designed inside, but this one bounces outside for a first down.
Porter, miscommunication there with Fellows, and now he slips down. Timing was just off on that
Fellows
motion.
Seemed a little hesitant. Maybe he wondered, am I supposed to motion on that one? Or maybe Porter's vernacular in the motion wasn't very clear, but nothing doing there.
10 minutes to go, third quarter. SNU facing a 2nd and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. Porter, quick hitter. He's got Colby Branch, and he's chopped down after a gain of 8. That's P.J. Larry, the safety. Nice gain for Branch, the junior out of Fairfield, Texas. Fairfield Eagle. 3rd and 2 from the SNU 48-yard line. Ball just off the N and SNU at the midfield logo. 9.5 minutes to go, third quarter. SNU taking their time on this drive. Seen SNU go for it already on 4th down right around midfield. See if they do it again, if they don't pick up these 2 yards.
Yeah, surely you're thinking that way.
2 wide either side. Porter takes the snap, fakes the give to Fellows. Porter pitches it late to Fellows, left-handed. Fellows unable to get upfield. Let's see where they mark him out. They're going to mark him at midfield and give him the first down.
Yeah, Fellows did jump kind of as he was going out of bounds, but Luke, I think both of us feel the same. That was a generous spot for the Crimson Storm, but not going to argue with it.
The GAC officials giveth and they taketh away.
That's right.
This was a giveth for SNU. Porter, quick snap, out to Branch. He's got blockers in front. Down the sideline he goes before being taken out of bounds by Hoofkin again. 6-yard gain on first down to the Southeastern 44-yard line.
Yeah, one of my favorite weird formations that SNU runs, and quads to the near side. If you see that, it's going to be a screen.
2 wide left now for SNU. Porter gives it to Cepeda up the middle. He's met right at the line of scrimmage by Caleb High. Play blown dead. Cepeda kept his feet, but High filling the end of that line nicely. The senior out of Waxahachie, Texas. And now we've got an injured Southeastern defensive lineman. That's number 94, Fred Hardy, the junior out of Dallas, down on the field. Caleb High, a senior, again out of Waxahachie, played for your favorite all-time Dallas Cowboys quarterback, John Kitna.
John Kitna, good guy. John Kitna is one of those guys that apparently was just like the nicest human being in the NFL for every year he was there. Good quarterback? No, not a great one, but certainly a nice guy. So he was a quarterback coach for the Cowboys for a while and all kinds of stuff. Don't know where he's at now, probably using that NFL money, being a backup for all those years.
What a great gig.
I know.
Hardy is helped to his feet and assisted off the field by the Southeastern training crew. Going to be favoring that right leg a little bit, at least walking on it. Just a bit of a limp. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Waxahachie, also the home of Southwestern Assemblies of God, former SNU
opponent,
competitor. Not sure if they still have a football team, but
got a great logo though.
That's right.
3rd and 4 from the left hash. 2 wide to the left for the Crimson Storm. Branch to the right. He comes in motion now to the near side. Porter fakes it to him, picks his way upfield, runs through a tackle right at the 40-yard line. He's got enough for the first down.
Yeah, and this is what you want, right? This is what Coach Hayda talks to us about every week. The long, sustained drives. 3 first downs, we've run 9 plays, right? It doesn't get any better than that.
Nope. Tyvion Williams thought he had stopped Porter short, but Porter had just crossed the 40-yard line, but he didn't get much more than that. Ran into about 5 white jerseys right there at the sticks. But it's enough to move the chains, and the clock continues to move. 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. This drive coming up on the 5-minute mark. Porter takes the snap, gives to Cepeda, running off left side, runs through 1 arm tackle, and gets 3 down to the 37-yard line. Looked like Cepeda almost looked like he had his face mask pulled.
He's asking for it.
I think he's asking for it, yeah. Definitely had something in the chest-face region pulled based on his reaction. I would say he probably was looking for the face mask penalty there.
No hurry for the Crimson Storm. I mean, they have taken about 6 minutes off this clock. Not quite. 5 minutes off this clock.
2nd and 7. 5 on the play clock for Gage Porter. Porter takes a snap. Pulls it out of the belly of Cepeda this time. Follows the tight end Dalen Smith around the left side. Porter chopped down across the 35 by Hoofkin. They'll give him the 33, so 4 more yards. Brings up another 3rd and 3. And SNU is just running this exactly how they want to right now.
Yeah, and again, in no hurry. I mean, they're just wearing that defense out.
And into the wind, this will definitely be 2-down territory. 3 wide receivers left. Cepeda to the left as well. Porter wanted the screen, and he's going to be sacked. Kevin Sims all the way back to the 42-yard line. And Porter was looking for the quick hitter to Cepeda over the middle. It wasn't there, and that was the only option, and so now SNU's going to be forced to punt after the big loss on 3rd down.
Yeah, and it seemed like there was a wrong route run. Some confusion, certainly. Gage Porter not happy. Frustrating into a really encouraging drive.
Atwell to kick this one away. Andre Williams standing at his own 10. Another high snap, but Atwell fields it and booms this one. The wind is holding it up. It hits at the 7, and Jake Wright all over it at the 7-yard line. The umpire down in the middle of the field. Didn't see what happened there.
Yeah, me neither. He was right in the middle of the congestion.
Both trainers out, helping him to his feet, and seems to be all right. But a nice job by Atwell pinning the Savage Storm inside the 10-yard line. 5:32 to go in the third quarter, 20-13. Southeastern with the lead. Landry, we saw this in the first half. SNU had a nice long drive that took over 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes off the clock. But they came away empty. And now once again, a long drive, 6:26 off the clock officially, but no points to show for it.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. You know, the negative plays are what are stalling these drives out, right? So if you can get 3, 4, 5 yards of play, you're going to do just fine, but you can't have a 3rd and short and lose 10 yards. I mean, those are going to be devastating to an offense going against a wind that seemed to be dying down, but it looks to have picked up quite a bit here this afternoon.
Well, especially, you know, and Sims was all over Porter there,
Yeah.
but, I mean, even an incompletion there, you at least have the option of going for it on 4th down. So Southeastern football, with a freshman at quarterback on their own 8-yard line. See if SNU can pin their ears back a little bit here. 2 wide left, 1 to the right for the Savage Storm. Donovan takes a snap, turns and gives to DJ Brown, and he is spilled across the 10 to the 11. Emmanuel Obina and Jalen Mays on the tackle. Gain of 3 on 1st down, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, full line change here. SNU consistently subbing when Southeastern subs to slow them down, get them out of rhythm.
5 wide here for Southeastern. 3 left, 2 right. Donovan back to pass, looking left, now looking right. He's flushed, fires it into the middle of the field. It's caught by Hawthorne across the 20. It was wrestled to the ground at the 25-yard line by Seth Spruill. And Giassi Smith nearly had a PBU for SNU as he and Hawthorne collided right as the ball was arriving.
Yeah, and I think he thought Hawthorne was an SNU defender.
Hawthorne now with 4 catches today for 62 yards. The senior out of Bells, Texas. Having a nice game. 1st and 10, Savage Storm from their own 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers left. Donovan takes a snap, looking that way. Under pressure, flag upcoming. Donovan in trouble, just forced to heave it into the Southeastern bench, but we're going to get a flag on the left tackle, Stefan Zabi, who put a chokehold on David Omasigo.
Yeah, you could say that. Chokehold and had half his jersey in his hand too, I think.
So that'll back the Savage Storm up 10 yards, back to their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, pretty clean, flag-free game for the most part for both these teams, other than
first penalty of the day there for Southeastern, who again, number 1 in the country in fewest penalties. We're tied for 1st in the nation.
Yeah,
fewest penalties this year.
Those are like stats coaches love, right? That shows discipline.
1st and 20. Donovan gives it to Brown, picks his way on the left side, trying to get outside. Flores trips him up after a gain of 9 up to the 19-yard line. A lot of space over there, though, Landry. Flores having to come up from his safety position to make that tackle.
Yeah, that certainly is, and some of that is probably the coverage you're running on 1st and 20. But also, you got to get off your block if you're the defensive end. You got to stretch that play a little further, a little faster.
More manageable 2nd and 11. 5 wide receiver set. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Ball in the left hash. Donovan looking right. Now back to the left. Steps up, fires to the sideline. Is caught by Smith right at the marker. He's got the first down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, frustrating. You have 1st and 20 there and 2 quick plays. They've got a 1st and 10.
Three minutes to go, third quarter. Southeastern with a 7-point lead. With the football, 1st and 10. They stay in the 5 wide receiver set. Donovan back to pass, fires it. He's got his man. He's open, and he overshot Victor Taylor, who is running a go route out of the slot. They've already scored on that once today. He had Seth Spruill beat, but just a bit of an overthrow there from the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, and they just take Spruill out, and again, it's not Spruill's fault. I mean, Spruill is an inside or an outside linebacker who's covering the slot receiver. It's a difficult thing, so they're putting their, I guess Southeastern's put tight end in, so it's a little bit easier here. But usually you just put a nickel or dime in for that to get another safety on the field, cornerback, something like that.
2nd and 10. Donovan gives to Brown, finds space on the left side, runs over an SNU defender, gets all the way up to the 43, nearly the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 43. SNU needs a stop. 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter, down by 7.
Yeah, I mean, no need to change it. If you're Southeastern here, give it to your back.
2 wide right, 1 to the left. Crowd imploring for a stop. Donovan takes a snap. The give is to Brown. Up the middle he runs, breaks through, and gets all the way to midfield, where he's taken down by Mays and Flores. But it's a 7-yard gain on 3rd and 2, and the Savage Storm move the sticks again, down to 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Two wide receivers right, 1 to the left. On the left hash here for freshman Kane Donovan, forced into action today. DJ Brown, shimmy shake, runs into the hole, runs into Jalen Mays, who takes him down after a gain of 3.
Yeah, Southeastern is using their center and their guards to double team that nose guard, which in theory leaves opportunities for the linebacker to come down and make a play, but they're getting on to the second level so quickly. It's created lots of space for these running backs for the Savage Storm to find holes.
2nd and 7. Clock ticking down to 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Quick moving quarter. Donovan turns, keeps it himself this time, and is crushed by Jalen Mays at the 45-yard line. A legal hit by Mays.
Man.
Sideline loved it. Donovan was starting to go into his slide there, and Mays just came in, shoulder-to-shoulder contact. It was definitely close as Donovan was starting to go down, though.
If you're going to slide, you slide quick as a quarterback. I also don't think we're going to see him run that ball anymore.
Now the field judge has stopped play. I'm not sure what we're stopping it for.
It's an SNU player.
Injury timeout for SNU.
Who's gone down. We can't see what number it is. But I believe that's what the field judge has seen. Usually if that's the case, then there's some kind of indicator he's seen in a player's behavior that would cause him to need to take a second. He's already back to his feet. Jake Wright.
Looked like Jake Wright. I think Kenyatta Richardson might have collided.
We're going to take a look at him.
So Jake Wright being helped to the sideline. Now big 3rd and 5 on the field. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right. For Southeastern, Hurt and Brown flanking Donovan. Down to 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Donovan back to pass. Blitz coming for SNU. Donovan fires. He's got his man Hunter Hawthorne wide open at the 30. Inside the 30, down to the 20-yard line goes Hunter Hawthorne. The senior has been huge today The SNU defense couldn't quite get home on the blitz.
Yeah, and when you send a blitz and run zone coverage, that means there's going to be holes in your zone, and the pressure is almost there. Young quarterback hangs in there and makes a good play.
So that's how the third quarter is going to end. We'll head to the fourth quarter with Southeastern at the threshold of the red zone, leading 20-13. The Crimson Storm needing a rally in the final stanza to come out with a win. We'll be back with more after this. This is SNU Football.
It's a beautiful morning, Scotty, and we have an early game today.
That injured list, it's getting longer by the minute.
Not to mention, there's apparently a nasty virus sweeping through the locker room.
Yeah, but these players, they're in good hands.
All of them need to feel their best this season, Scotty.
Yes, they do, Jack, because this team is on track to win it all this year.
Every day, Mercy's team is ready to take care of yours, bringing you the care you need now. Find out all the ways to access Mercy at mercynow.net.
The final stanza upon us in Bethany. Southeastern leading 20-13 on the march. Consumed over 5 minutes on this drive as they are down to the SNU red zone at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Kane Donovan, the quarterback, motions Marquise Gray. Gives it to him. Gray trying to pick his way, and he is bottled up. Might have even lost a yard. Landry Gray, an All-American last year, does not look like himself. Just 2 catches for 20 yards today, but that was about as slow moving as I've ever seen Marquise Gray.
You can see a brace on his right knee, and hope he's feeling better by the end of the season. You want to see talented guys use their talents, but he just looks a touch slow, looks a little banged up.
2nd and 10. Ball on the right hash. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Donovan takes a snap, gives to Brown. Up the middle he goes, nearly broke through, but Hiram Flores corralled him at the 14. It's still a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd down and 4. Southeastern going into the win. They already went for it on 4th and goal from the 17 in the first half. So interesting calculus here for Southeastern if SNU's able to get the stop. Holden Hill hobbling over here on the sideline below us. 3rd and 4. Donovan gets a snap, gives to Brown. Up the middle he goes, and he's chopped down. Jalen Mays got him at the 11-yard line. Carter Brock nearly had him in the backfield, but it is 4th down regardless. Southeastern's going to go.
Here comes a heavy set, and
they just need a yard for the 1st down. SNU's already turned them away on 4th and 1 once. Can they do it again? False start, flag. Now they blow it dead.
Yeah, no matter what.
And the umpire's the one who threw the flag. Neither the line judge or the head linesman threw the flag. I think they got SNU to jump. And Southeastern jumped while they were in the neutral zone, but nobody blew it dead.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the play won't count. Inadvertent whistle at best, but it looked like Crimson Storm jumped.
Oh, and now they're calling it a false start. Oh, my. And Bo Atterbury is about to lose his mind. Oh, excuse me, that's not Atterbury. That's one of the other Southeastern coaches over there on the sideline. Excuse me, my mistake.
Yeah.
But a 5-yard false start penalty on Southeastern. I'm assuming that the line judge and head linesman thought that SNU's end, I think that was Omasigo, was not in the neutral zone.
Man, Yeah, a big break for SNU.
Now
Even bigger fourth down. We have a linebacker matched up with a slot receiver again.
4th and 6. Omosigho jumps, but nobody moves this time. Southeastern resets. 10 on the play clock. Already 2 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. And Southeastern's going to need to burn a timeout, and they do. We'll see what Southeastern does when we come back out of the timeout, Landry. They've already gone for it on 4th and goal from this exact spot.
Yes, I mean, I just don't. Their kicker, he's done well today. But every kick he's had has been into the wind, or with the wind, excuse me. So, you know, I don't know if he doesn't feel good about his kicking into the wind or what it is, but I think I don't know.
It's only a 33-yard field goal.
You kick the field goal and you move on, you know, but
you know, not like SNU, at least to my knowledge, maybe in coaching circles, you know, has a reputation for just being this kick blocking machine.
Right.
We've certainly seen a few in our time here, but
yeah, but not enough that
it's not like it happens every game.
Yeah.
But they are going to kick the field goal. As Atterbury getting an explanation from the referee for the false start penalty.
Yeah, he deserves one. You know, obviously we are partial to the Crimson Storm, but not sure what I saw there
especially from the umpire.
Yeah.
So 33-yard field goal just inside the right hash. Dylan Cox, the freshman, puts it up, and it is no good. Wide to the left. And the SNU defense holds once again, and the score remains 20-13 with 12:38 to play.
Now you got to go finish, right? You got to go get the ball in the end zone. The defense has done its job time and time again today, and now it's the time for the offense to put one in the end zone.
I think at this point in the day, Landry, we can say this has been a weird game.
Yeah, it has been uncharacteristic a little bit for both teams, seemingly.
A little bit of everything. So here's the SNU offense. 3 wide to the left with the ball on the right hash. Zepeda is the back. Again, they've been without Angel Ramirez today. No Jarrell Farr as well. Fellows the man in motion. Porter bobbled it. Fellows still got it. Gets across the 20, but we're going to get a flag for holding on Dalen Smith. Well, that's going to back SNU up to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're going to hold, you got to make sure you don't hold right in front of the head official.
That backs SNU up to 1st and 20 at their own 10. 12 and a half minutes to play. SNU going with the wind in the fourth quarter. Remember, SNU missed the extra point on their second touchdown at the end of the first half. Otherwise, the score would be 20-14 right now. So now a touchdown extra point merely ties the game instead of gives you the lead. Zepeda and Fellows flank Porter in the pistol set. Now Fellows motions to the top of the formation. Porter takes a snap, back to pass. He's got time. Now he's being blitzed by Cameron Tate. Porter in trouble in the end zone, needs some help. Still scrambling, fires it across the field to Colby Branch. Got a block at the 20, 25-30, 35-40. He's got a block downfield, midfield, 45-40, 30, 25-20. Cuts it back, 15, 10, all the way to the 7-yard line. But there's a flag back at the 15-yard line. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see what the flag is all about. That might have been an insane bit of football magic for naught, but let's see.
They're talking about it.
I think it might be an illegal forward pass possibility. Porter was right at the 10-yard line when he threw it, because it's the line judge who is talking about it with his fellow official. And I think that is the head linesman over there. And so I think they're going to rule it an illegal forward pass.
Yeah.
Or potentially illegal man downfield, which also might be a possibility. One is reviewable, one is not. To say that that was insane, Landry, would be an understatement.
Do you know who was lead blocking on that play?
I saw Donovan Hill out there eventually. I did not see who was
Gage Porter, lead blocking. After throwing the ball, catches up to his wide receiver, and then lead blocks for him. Yeah, this might be one that the challenge flag might get thrown. Excuse me.
So it is an illegal forward pass. Porter is telling his head coach to review it.
He got the flag in his hand. He hasn't thrown it yet. He's going to keep it in his pocket. I don't know if he must have seen something we didn't see.
Now you have to burn a timeout to challenge. So they wind the clock. And Hayda's not going to challenge it.
Well, now there's a
I
timeout.
think he is.
You know, we've seen
let's see what happens now.
two challenges, but we have not seen a coach throw a flag yet.
Now the line judge is, I think they have the spot wrong because it should be a 5-yard penalty. I think it should have been a 5-yard penalty. Maybe not.
Spot foul, 5 yards, lost it down.
At this point, there's no change in the line of scrimmage from the penalty. Southeastern is
upset
about it. 2nd and 20. Porter to the outside. It's Braxton Bird. And he's forced out of bounds at the 19-yard line. They mark him out at the 18, so that makes it 3rd and 12. But so we've had a penalty marked off for 11 yards on a hold, and now we just had a
0-yard
penalty.
Yeah, and Southeastern's head coach over there is letting them hear it, and rightfully so. I mean, those are things that should be
miss. That's
every
inexcusable.
time. Yeah.
Do you think Coach Hayda decided not to challenge just to keep the timeout?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Looking towards the end of this game, it's been so tight all game.
3rd and 12. Porter back to pass. He's got 3 wide receivers to the left. Feeling pressure from the backside. Fires it deep. He's got Asa Robertson. Can he catch up to it? He cannot. Nearly caught up to it at the Southeastern 35-yard line, but it falls incomplete, and SNU will be forced to punt.
Yeah, and I think you just live to see another down. I mean, you have the win this game, so if you do have to put yourself in a position to throw the ball, you are at the advantage there. You know, if it's a touchdown, I think you throw that flag without thinking. But you got a great punter, and you've got the wind behind you. Just to let him.
This one could go for miles.
Into the end zone.
Atwell gets it, booms this one. High spiraling kick. Williams bobbled it, but he retrieves it at the 33. Gets outside, across the 40, and he scoots out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Really 1st and 10 for Southeastern. That'll be a timeout on the field. 11 minutes to play. 20-13 Southeastern with the ball in the lead. We'll be back with more. This is SNU Football.
One of my favorite things about SNU was the relationships I was able to have with people, with professors, with friends.
One thing that was purposely different about SNU was the integration of faith into the academics. I feel like I learned so much from that helped prepare me for life after college, to be a husband and someday to be a father. It was a really, really transformational time in my life.
My degree could have come from anywhere, but my relationships with people, I know I would not have gotten anywhere else. Go to snu.edu to apply or to schedule a visit.
Welcome back to Bethany, 20-13, Southeastern with the lead over Southern Nazarene. It's been a back and forth affair. Southeastern with the football at their own 45-yard line. Landry had a chance to look at the replay on that illegal forward pass. It looked like it was clean. At least from the angle we had up here. But
yeah, it's a tough angle from up here, but it certainly looked like, again, we've said this every game this season, your whole body has to be past the line of scrimmage, and he looked like he had at least a leg behind the line of scrimmage.
So here's the Southeastern offense. The give to DJ Brown up the middle. He goes. He's met at midfield by Aaron Randall. He takes it all the way down to the 48-yard line of SNU for a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah.
Second down upcoming.
This offensive line is just having their way with the smaller defensive line of the Crimson Storm.
The offensive line for Southeastern hasn't been great this year, but they are big. 300s across the board, basically. 2 wide left, 1 right for Southeastern. Give to Brown again. More space. He gets through Aaron Randall and gets all the way to the 42. 6 more yards. And a first down for Southeastern. Brown now 156 yards on the ground on 23 carries today. And Landry, it's that space between left tackle and left guard, and they're running that spot every time.
They sure are, and they're getting the second level with their guard quickly, and that slows down your linebackers who are supposed to be flying downhill to make that play. 2 backs in right now.
1st and 10. Donovan back to pass. Looking down the far sideline for Hawthorne. He caught it with one hand. Josh Johnson was all over him. A tremendous catch by Hawthorne. And Johnson not able to get his head around to make a play on the ball. At a 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line for Southeastern.
No shame to Josh Johnson there. I mean, they high-five in honor of each other's play. I mean, Johnson's in good position. Hawthorne just makes an incredible play.
Under 10 minutes to go. In Bethany, Southeastern in the red zone once again. Donovan gives to Hurt. Right up the middle he goes. He's grabbed by Flores and right at the 11-yard line. A gain of 7 on 1st down, 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and, you know, Southeastern's had their way, except when they get in the red zone, they kind of seem to stagnate a little bit. I don't know if it's SNU tightening up, not having to worry about the coverage as much, but they've struggled today in the red zone.
2nd and 3, 8.5 minutes to go. Southeastern trying to put SNU in a 2-score deficit. Donovan scrambling to the right, under pressure, fires it toward the end zone. It's intercepted! A horrific decision by the freshman, and now a flag comes out. I don't know who this is going to be on, but you better hope it's not on SNU. Josh Johnson with the interception. His 2nd of the season, and that was a freshman mistake, Landry.
Oh, man, I think he was trying to throw it out of bounds and just didn't get the angle right. I mean, he just floated up there. Josh Johnson had all the time in the world to get back under it. A big play, a big penalty.
So unsportsmanlike conduct on Jalen Mays is the call, so that'll back SNU up 10 yards. They'll have to start 1st and 10 at their own 10.
Yeah, just penalties, penalty after penalty, Luke, that is just put SNU at a disadvantage. And it's not one of those where you can say, well, the refs, you know, or keep calling holding, or, you know, just obvious mistakes, you know. And yeah, I get being in the heat of the moment and you want to celebrate with your teammates, but you got to be under control and can't put your team at a disadvantage like that.
Now 8 penalties for 67 yards today for SNU.
Yeah, and so, you know, some of those probably could be more, but backed up in the red zone, just half the distance to the goal.
So here's the SNU offense. From the left hash. Porter motions Joe Flores to the near side, gives it to him. Flores, it's a wide receiver pass, looking upfield, and he got Donovan Hill all the way up at the 44-yard line. They'll mark him at the 46. A generous couple more yards. P.J. Larry, the safety, just mistimed his jump brutally.
I think he was just so surprised the ball was coming to him.
1st and 10 SNU. Porter back to pass. He's got Asa Robertson on the crossing route. He's got it inside the 30-yard line to the 28.
And Gage Porter showing Joe Flores how to put a spiral on a ball. Asa Robertson with a great catch.
2 plays inside the 30-yard line go the Crimson Storm. 7.5 to go. Porter gives it to Fellows, running right. Gets outside, 25, 20, 15. Oh, just tripped up. The Crimson Storm are moving now as Fellows goes down to the 12-yard line. 16 more yards.
Yeah, they're moving at a blistering pace. As soon as the ball is put down, they've been getting underneath it. Slowing down a little bit here in the red zone, letting their offensive line catch a breath.
2 wide either side, Zepeda behind Porter. Here comes Fellows to the right side. Porter runs that way, cuts it back inside, is met in the hole. Winters, the man down low. One of the defensive linemen for Southeastern. That's Hardy, the freshman, up high. 5 yards for Porter down to the 8-yard line. 2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4. SNU can get a first down at the 2. They'll hope to just put it in the end zone. 6.5 minutes to play, 20-13 Southeastern. 2nd and 6 SNU. Porter gives to Zepeda up the middle. He kind of stumbled out of his break. Down to the 6, 2-yard gain. 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, SNU still has those 3 timeouts in their back pocket. Certainly need a touchdown here.
2 wide left, 1 to the right. The man to the right is Asa Robertson. High, kind of splits out. Now Robertson in motion near. Porter, quick out to Robertson. He's got the catch. He might have the first down. Let's see where they mark him.
2.
They mark him at the 3.
Oh,
it'll be 4th
man.
down. That's a tough spot. It looked like he caught it deeper than that. But it's 4th down and 1 from the 3-yard line. Obviously, SNU will go. Five and a half to play, 4th and 1. SNU does not need to score here. All they need to do is get 1 yard for a fresh set of downs. Porter in the pistol. Carlos Zepeda beside him. Smith motions to the right side. 3 on the play clock. Porter following his blockers up the middle. He's got the first down. He's got a touchdown! Gage Porter, touchdown, Crimson Storm.
Yeah, who else are you giving the ball there to? I mean, it's Gage Porter all the way. The offense knows it. The defense knows it. You just got to stop it, and they cannot. Field goal away from tying this ball game.
Van Pruyen on for the extra point. Missed one earlier, and this one's low. It hits the crossbar, and it's no good. The officials blow that dead. I thought there was something more than that, but Van Pruyen didn't get under it, and SNU finds themselves down 1 with 5 minutes to go.
Oh, man, just aggravating. It. 2 missed field goals today. SNU could be on top of this game.
Producer Grant McNew indicating it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. That certainly would explain the low trajectory.
It seemed low in general, though, Luke. You know, usually if it's tipped on a PAT from the 10, it's kind of shot or line drived in there. And now defense got to step up. I mean, you're not in the situation you thought you were going to be in. You played well all day, and you've been able to get your offense back on the field. You got to do it one more time.
Offensive lineman Robert Combs having to be assisted off the field after that play as well. So instead of a 1-point lead right now, Landry, SNU has a 1-point deficit. courtesy of two missed extra points.
Those little things, you know, special teams, PATs are not givens.
Southeastern 2 timeouts, SNU all 3 remaining with 5 minutes to play. 20-19 SNU. It's been a game full of just about everything, but it has been a very even game, and we talked coming in. These are the games that SNU has to win in order to really make a statement that they are taking that next step as a program and winning these games against other middle-of-the-pack GAC teams.
Yeah, certainly.
This one's still there for the taking.
Yeah, this game's not out of reach. 5 minutes, a long time.
And what a redemption it would be if SNU's able to get the stop and go down, and Van Pruyen is the one who kicks the winning field goal.
That's right.
The run-up and the boot for the freshman. High end-over-end kick. Chases all the way through the end zone.
It's crossbar again.
And SNU will play defense from the Southeastern 25-yard line. 5 minutes to go. Quick check on scores around the league. Oklahoma Baptist getting all they can handle from Southwestern. 17-13, early fourth quarter there. And Oklahoma Baptist with a backup quarterback today, but not a great look. We're tied up. Excuse me, Southern Arkansas could be taking a 1-point lead with 4 minutes to play. Touchdown under review there. We'll get the others here in just a moment. Ball on the left hash for Southeastern, 2 wide right, 1 left for the Savage Storm. Donovan gives it to Brown. He's got space right up the middle again. And he gets 6 up to the 31-yard line. East Central 42, Northwestern nothing. That's 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Arkansas Monticello just scored to make it 24-10. Arkansas Tech in the lead. The touchdown call is confirmed. So Southern Arkansas kicking an extra point to go up 1 at Henderson State with 4.5 to play. That one living up to the billing. 2nd and 4 for Southeastern. Donovan turns and gives to Brown. Found space on the right side this time across the 35 up to the 36.
Yeah, now this is the next, or this is the, we got to.
Haram Flores, who came off on that last series earlier, goes down trying to get off the field here.
Yeah, and
at least that stops the clock for the moment with 4:10 to play.
I think under 2 minutes. It's a team timeout.
And Landry, we saw the left side of that offensive line on the previous drive. First 2 plays on this one, they go to the right side of the offensive line.
Yeah, and you know, as like a casual watcher of football, you might be thinking, well, just put another defensive tackle in, or, you know, but the concept of a 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, really 5 at times for this Crimson, you can't just change that, right? Like, you don't, like the technique it takes to be a nose guard in a 0-1 or 1-eye technique, to just all of a sudden go to a 2 or 2-eye is not something you just like do instantly. And playing outside linebacker and having all these responsibilities and then just shifting inside is not something you just do over the period of course of one game. Normally you run your base defense, you have variations of it, but you don't change drastically like that.
And you can't just put in a big body and expect him to be able to move somebody else.
Yeah, or know what to do after he moves him, right?
A big body who doesn't know where he's going is very easily moved by an O-lineman. 3.5 minutes to play. Play clock down to 10. Donovan takes the snap, gives to Hurt. He finds space this time. And he's got a good gain of 7 all the way up to the 43-yard line. 2nd and 3, and SNU going to have to start thinking about using those timeouts on defense here, because the clock will not stop until a first down after the 2-minute mark. Southeastern's going to be able to take it all the way down there just by running 2 more plays. They are in no rush whatsoever. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left, but we all know where this is going. Donovan turns and gives to Hurt. SNU sells out, and they got the stop. And Coach Hayda burns his first. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 44-yard line. 2:46 on the clock, Landry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to even say it, but I guess that's our job, right? This is the biggest play of the game. You know, 3rd and 2, or a long one, really. It's going to be up to this defense to hold tight. Defense in the second half has been gashed by the inside run. I mean, and very few times have they been able to stop it. Now, if you're Southeastern, you know, I think generally you're thinking unless they overload to where we're going to run, we're going to stick with what we've been doing. But maybe you have a package in here where a quarterback keeper or kind of something to get him in space where people aren't to gain that 1 yard.
Here we go, 3rd and a yard and a half. Southeastern needs the 46. The ball is just on the other side of the 45. 2-back set. Donovan takes the snap, gives to Brown, trying to bounce outside. He's taken down for a loss. SNU had that blown up from the get-go. It was Cole McMahon with the tackle for loss back to the 42-yard line. It'll be 4th down for Southeastern. 4th and 4 at their own 42-yard line. And Landry, what a stand from the defense.
Oh, yeah. I perfectly designed defensive formation there, right? You have you put in another defensive lineman, kind of a heavy set. You're basically acting like it's a goal line defense because you know they're going to run. You sell out on the run, and Southeastern is unable to maintain the front four of SNU's defense and gets a tackle in the backfield. Plus, you have all the linebackers swarming in on that play. So even if he breaks one, they're right there. But that play was done from the beginning. And now SNU has 1 timeout and potentially a decent field position and plenty of time to drive down and put themselves in a position to win the game.
Punt unit comes on for Southeastern, just the 2nd punt of the day for Jackson Nally. Boomed a 57-yarder in the first half. Joe Flores standing back at his own 15-yard line, and if you're SNU, just be smart here.
Yep, safe punt, block for your returner.
Helicoptering kick, rolls inside the 25 and dies at the 24. 2:32 to play. SNU with 1 timeout. They need just a field goal to come out of here with the victory.
That's right.
But tons of time left for SNU. That you saw them motor down the field on the previous possession with some big plays.
Yep.
Big plays have been the story all day, Landry.
Especially for this SNU offense. I mean, they have lived and died on big plays, and some more interesting than others. We haven't talked too much about Joe Flores' pass, but
they went so fast we didn't have time.
That's true, but you sometimes when your offense is stagnant, you gotta have something to get you going, and when they've needed it, they've had it, and they have an opportunity here with plenty of time to get down the field and put themselves in position to win.
Porter takes the snap, gives it to Zepeda. Right up the middle he goes, carrying tacklers up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 6 on 1st down for Zepeda. Joshua Horlick with the tackle. 2nd down and 4. Clock moving, 2:15 to play. 2 wide to either side for the Crimson Storm. Porter back to pass. Now he's in trouble. And fires it to Dalen Smith. He's got it. He was marked down. The line judge said he was marked down. Looked like he lost the football diving over Cameron Tate.
They don't have a challenge on this side
that
for
is correct.
Southeastern.
Southeastern does not have a challenge, as they were wrong on their challenge in the first half. And that might have been that's a fortunate thing. 1:41 to go. The clock is moving. SNU in no rush. up to the line of scrimmage at the 36. 2 wide to either side. Porter back to pass. He's got plenty of time. Now he's under pressure. Now escapes, still under pressure, looking for help. Scrambles down the sideline, 40, knocked out of bounds. All the way up at the 46-yard line. Should be enough for the first down. 1:18 to play. Porter did get out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock. 1st and 10 at the SNU 46-yard line.
Yeah, good coaching point. That'll probably happen in film session. Dalen Smith, tight end, makes a great play and trying to get extra yards, but on a situation like that, you just take the step out of bounds. You save the time on the clock, and you secure the ball.
3 wide left, ball on the right hash. Porter looking that way. Still holding, still holding. Now scrambles, finds Donovan Hill upfield, and he's out of bounds inside the Southeastern 40-yard line. A big chunk on first down all the way to the Southeastern 37. 1:09 to play.
Yeah, and Gage Porter with his legs is able to create more time for his offense every single play. He's had good pass protection this drive, but he's able to hit in himself and his own ability to create 2, 3, 4 extra seconds for wide receivers to get open.
2 wide either side, Zapata to the back with Porter. SNU with 1 timeout remaining, 1:09 to go. Porter, draw all the way, upfield, outside 30, outside 25, still down the sideline, inside the 20, and he got out of bounds at the 18. What a run from Gage Porter. Nifty footwork on the far side, and SNU in the red zone, still 1:03 to go, Landry.
Yeah, and you still don't feel super comfortable if you're Coach Hayda, right? You probably want 5-10 more yards before you start thinking, I'm going to grind this to the last second. Southeastern has 2 timeouts. You know, the crowd's been kind of hurry. And the reason you don't want to hurry too fast if you do get down the field, you don't want Southeastern to have the ball back with plenty of time and timeouts on top of that. So you want to put the decision on Southeastern, and they're doing a good job of that.
Porter back to pass. He's got 3 to the right. Now he's in trouble, scrambling, still in trouble. Fires it to the end zone, too tall for Donovan Hill. Incomplete. Good pressure by the Southeastern defensive front. But all that, it's just 2nd and 10 and an incomplete pass. And Landry, the SNU offensive lineman, doubling back,
yes,
put a few guys on their butts.
They sure did, yeah. They're playing well. And you look at the 22 players on the field right now, they look gassed. Everybody's tired.
I don't know how Gage does it every week, honestly.
I don't either. He's stretching out his back, getting a little breath before he snaps his ball. 8 seconds on the play clock.
54 on the game clock. 2nd and 10 from the left hash. Porter back to pass. He's got time. Pressure from the backside, and he's sacked. Coach Hayda not using it, and he will use his timeout. 43.1 seconds to go. It was D'Angelo Shanks, the redshirt freshman out of Westmore High School just down the road. Got around David Armijo on the backside. Porter never saw him coming.
All right, so now 3rd and long. You used your best play, Luke. This is just what I would do. Whatever play you feel like you can get a chunk yard in every single time, right? You're not, first down is great, but you can't take another sack. You just need to gain some yards and make it a manageable field goal, all right? So your field goal unit is going to be standing, all 11 of those guys, some of which are already on the field, is going to be standing right next to you. So as soon as that ball is completed or run, that field goal unit is going to sprint out there.
What a time. So SNU's out of timeouts, 43 seconds. Left to play. It is 3rd down and 20 from the 28-yard line. So nothing else happens. It's a 45-yard field goal from here with the wind. It's a stiff wind. Cameron Van Pruyen, the kicker, has missed 2 extra points today, and that's the 1-point deficit that SNU has instead of a 1-point lead. 3rd and 20. 43 seconds left. Again, no timeouts for SNU. Porter has it. Back to pass, under pressure. Flag down, Porter taken down at the 15-yard line, but we are going to get a hold, and now SNU's really in a world of hurt with 34.5 seconds left. Because this penalty is going to push SNU out of field goal range.
It'll still be third down.
The clock will run as soon as everything is made ready for play.
Yeah, and they're going to need to do exactly what they did on the last play. Just try to get up the field some with their field goal unit right beside Coach Hayda. You can see it right there on the sideline. All those guys with their helmets on real close to him are about ready to go in.
Clock winds, 30 seconds to go. Porter takes a snap, and Southeastern's going to bail SNU out a little bit and take one of their 2 timeouts. And that'll at least allow SNU to think about what to call here with 26.5 seconds left.
And it gives your offensive line, your wide receivers a chance to breathe. You get to put your best players in for your best play. You know, sometimes when you get winded like that at the end of a game, you know, you might sub in your second string wide receiver or whoever it might be, and they're in there for 3, 4, 5 plays because you got to move fast. You can't sub them out. So good opportunity for SNU to get in field goal range. The difficulty, again, is you're going to have a short amount of time to get your field goal unit on.
So the play, the holding penalty, and the time before the timeout took 17 seconds off the clock. And Landry, you're pushing your luck. I mean, we saw, if you watch college football, you saw TCU do this against Baylor last year. It's a straight fire drill of a situation. 26.5 seconds. You don't leave much room for improvisation on Gage's part and still give yourself enough time
to get
set on the field goal.
Yeah, that's the real tricky thing. It's not, you know, Gage Porter can pick up some yards here, and they're going to play zone to do that, but it's the thing after it.
Here's the snap. 3 wide receivers to the right. Porter has time. He's blitzed, fires. It's incomplete. And that should be, we'll see if it's intentional grounding.
It looked like his arm was hit. That shouldn't be intentional grounding if his arm is hit.
Yeah, if he is under contact, I don't think it would be.
Yeah, and their field goal unit is on. So
it's 4th down, and because of that, SNU's got nothing, no way to move the ball forward. So this is going to be a 55-yard field goal. Adam Atwell is on to kick it. Atwell, the punter, has a big leg. He's got the wind behind him. 55 yards for the lead with 18 seconds left. And a timeout called by Southeastern. And the kick.
He got his miss out of the way. Southeastern.
It was wide right, but he has the distance, folks.
Yeah,
that one would have made it.
Southeastern burns a timeout. You know, statistically, Luke, icing the kicker has a reverse effect on the team kicking or calling the timeout. I get why coaches do it.
I honestly think it's more of
a statistic.
I think it's more of a, I don't want to look like I didn't use my timeouts as much as anything.
Yeah, you know, a good coach always uses all 3 timeouts. He's going to have another attempt, and
he's right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he sure is.
I'm not sure why the clock is running.
Yeah, timeout. The clock is going to be stopped. So 18, should be 18 seconds on the clock.
Go back to 18 seconds.
Get it pumped back up there.
18 and a half. Adam Atwell, a sophomore from League City, Texas.
Everybody on their feet here in SNU Stadium.
From the middle of the field, from the U in SNU. High snap, gets it down. Is it long enough? It's no good. Just short. And I mean just short.
The snap seemed just a touch high, and his
timing was just a smidge off.
Just off. Yeah, and a heartbreaking way for SNU to wrap up this game. I mean, had opportunities, but could not capitalize in the moments that mattered the most.
It was dead on line, but just a smidge short. "12 seconds. Southeastern just needs to take a knee. And that'll do it. So Southeastern comes to Bethany, and they will escape with a 20-19 win over Southern Nazarene. A heartbreaking loss for the Crimson Storm today. Easy to look at the missed extra points, Landry, but that would, be a disservice to both the special teams unit and the team at large. It was a lot more than just missed extra points that cost SNU today, but a hard-fought, tight football game this afternoon as SNU falls 20-19. As we take a look at the final numbers and wrap this up, Landry, the first thing that pops out into your mind today, what is that for you?
Yeah, the penalties really set back SNU, and not just you're gonna have penalties in a game, but the positions in which they got the penalties really put them at a disadvantage. You just think about some of the drives that were halted or called back because of penalties. So those are correctable things, and those are things that are a little uncharacteristic of this team that we've seen the last couple years, and I think certainly areas to grow. On a positive note, I thought the defense played their best game of the season today. Yeah, they got gashed on the inside run, but sometimes you give up plays, but you make plays when you need to, and they consistently did that in this game. Their red zone defense was the best we've seen all season, and really by any team that we've watched this year. And so you gotta be pretty proud of that, because it could have gotten out of hand with how stagnant the offense looked at times. But yeah, the penalties really were a disservice to the Crimson Storm today.
Looking through the final numbers here, SNU finishes 484 yards of offense, 7.5 yards per play on 65 plays, 371 yards on 60 plays for Southeastern, 6.2 yards per play. You mentioned the penalties, Landry. 9 for 77 for SNU today, 2 for 15 for the Savage Storm, and ultimately that was the difference. I mean, especially the unfortunate one that really wasn't on the illegal forward pass on Gage, and then obviously the holding call on second down here right before the field goal turned out to be tremendously impactful,
right,
as that field goal from Atwell would have easily been good without the extra 10 yards. SNU 221 yards on the ground today, 194 for Southeastern. SNU 263 yards through the air today, 177 for Southeastern. SNU had a fumble and an interception today. Southeastern with 1 interception today. Looking at some individual numbers, Gage Porter, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 227 yards through the air. Aaron Fellows, 2 catches, 78 yards, 5 for 59 for Asa Robertson, 2 for 53 for Donovan Hill, 2 for 29 for Dalen Smith. Carlos Cepeda, 9 carries, 52 yards today. Aaron Fellows, 5 for 13. For Southeastern, Weston Conway, 6 of 12, 86 yards and a touchdown in the first half before exiting with an injury at halftime. Kane Donovan, the freshman out of John Marshall High School here in Oklahoma City, 6 of 11, 91 yards in the second half. DJ Brown today, 26 carries for 165 yards and a score today. A great day on the ground for him. 6 catches, 111 yards for Hunter Hawthorne, 3 for 42 for Giassi Smith. Looking at some individuals defensively, Jalen Mays, 11 tackles, led the Crimson Storm today. 7 for Hiram Flores, 9 each for Michael Hoofkin and Cameron Tate, leading the way for Southeastern Oklahoma State. Landry East Central awaits down in Ada next week, and it's another opportunity for SNU against a team right there in the middle as East Central gets the win, 42-7 over Northwestern today. So another opportunity for, teams you're right on the same level with for you to assert yourself and say, you know what, we're better than these teams. But came up on the short end today in that situation, but yet another opportunity next week and several more down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've yet to see a complete game from these guys. And we've seen lots of good moments and lots of good quarters, but a complete game is right around the corner, and I think East Central will be a good opportunity. The Tigers are good, and so is this Crimson Storm team. So solid opportunity for them to show what they're made out of. Every week seems from here on out will seem to be a good challenge and opportunity for them.
That's going to do it here from Bethany at SNU Football Stadium. The Crimson Storm come up just a little bit short against Southeastern Oklahoma State today. 20-19, the final score from Bethany. Our next broadcast here at SNU, Thursday night, October 26th. Ouachita Baptist coming to town, 6 o'clock kickoff. A nice, cool night game on the docket for the Crimson Storm and the nationally ranked Tigers. Should be it'll be a tough challenge for SNU, but one that they are certainly willing to step up to and take. So that'll be our next broadcast. We'll be on air a little bit before 6 o'clock with the pregame show and get you all set for the Crimson Storm and the Tigers. Back-to-back weeks for SNU and the Tigers. First up, the Orange Tigers, then the Purple Tigers. So for all of us here at SNU Athletics, producer Grant McNew and my color analyst Landry Franks, I'm Luke McConnell saying good evening from Bethany.